This episode is brought to you by Midwest Night Watchers, found everywhere on your favorite podcast platforms.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Night Owl Lounge.
Night Owl Lounge.
Yeah, the Night Owl.
Weren't we just doing a Night Owl Lounge?
I don't know. It seems like it.
Wow. Well, welcome in, everyone, to another Wednesday night.
Another Wednesday.
Man.
Put it out. Mark it on the calendar. Another Wednesday gone.
Hi, Clay.
Hi, Clay.
Yeah, good little mini doc. Now I can't wait till next week since you gave us a little hint. And welcome in, Robin. Oh, my. What a week. What a week.
Yeah, it's been busy.
Yeah, it's not over yet.
Between our shows and guest shows and...
Yeah. My goodness. And an extra show.
Yeah, an extra show. We got a show tomorrow.
Yeah, we were on Jessica's show today. If you didn't see it, go check out the Cryptid Huntress. We were on Jessica's noon show. Well, it's noon for us, 1 o'clock for her. So yeah, we were on Jessica's show today. And then we had Andy's show right after that, but we weren't on it. And tomorrow we're going to be on Heidi Pop. So if you're not subscribed to Heidi Pop, we'll be on...
Yeah.
3 o'clock her time, 5 o'clock Central.
Heidi Pop and
Mr. B.
Jim Goodall.
And Jim Goodall. Yeah, we've been everywhere this week, Clay.
Yeah.
We didn't do a Sunday night show, but then we did a Sunday special on Rumble. And Monday, Gerald did his normal show with Dr. Carol. And then we did
Rumble
a show yesterday with our UK person. It'd be 8 o'clock her time. It was 2 o'clock for us. So we did our show yesterday. And then, shortly after that, Jessica said, "Hey, you guys busy tomorrow?" So we ended up being on Jessica's show today, helping her. And then tomorrow we've got Heidi. And then Friday and Saturday will be our movie night again. Woo! And then Sunday, our show.
Yeah, Friday night, in case nobody has ever seen it or forgot about it, we're going to be playing some episodes of $6 Million Man with the Bigfoot episodes. So if you've never seen $6 Million Man fight the Bigfoot, Friday night on our Rumble channel will be your chance.
I remember watching that show, but I do not remember him having Sasquatch in it. That's funny. That would be cool. Oh, my goodness. So, Clay, are you getting storms right now? Because I'm seeing lightning on my camera over in that direction. Is you're getting it, or it's already past you? It looks like there's some storms over in Iowa. So, yeah, we had a nice day. Oh, what did it get? 80?
Oh, yeah, like 80 degrees.
Yeah, it was really warm today. And it's clear here, so somebody's getting storms.
I'm just thinking we're going to be getting summer weather already, and it's not going to go away.
Yeah, it's been storming here for the last few hours. Yeah, because I've got stars on the camera, but I'm seeing in the horizon it's been lighting up like it's lightning over there. So good, we're missing storms. Hey, there's Red. Howdy, Red.
Hi, Red.
Good to see ya. Yeah, I didn't know if you were in Jessica's chat or not. I was trying to ignore Jessica's chat today. I'm trying to concentrate on her show.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance. Normally, I would say hi to everybody, but I didn't
Right.
get a chance because we were concentrating on
her show. Yeah, being a
haunted
co-host.
national parks.
Yeah, haunted national parks. That was so interesting. That was a good show. So I don't know. I'm kind of lost tonight. I'm in a daze. We went for a long walk and we're just kind of. I think we got too much fresh air.
Where were we gone? Almost 3 hours?
About 2.5 hours or so. Yeah, we walked up and down the train tracks and was checking things out and got a bunch of fresh air and barely made it back to make supper. And then Dennis had his special show tonight. Oh,
Haunted Everglades.
Little Lady Who. Hi from the Haunted Everglades.
Hi, little lady.
Yeah, welcome in. And we were talking about the Everglades this morning, weren't we?
Well, maybe they came from Jessica's chat.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, we were talking about the Everglades.
They were talking about the haunted Everglades.
So yeah, welcome in. We've got a nice friendly chat. A little crazy sometimes, but
yeah, tonight's our relaxed night where we just hang out and talk with everybody in chat. And
she did see us on Jessica's show. Awesome.
Oh, nice. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks for coming over.
So we have a few cryptid reports to do tonight, and I don't know what else we'll do other than hang out with you guys and just chit chat. And hi, Kathita.
Hey, hi, Kathita. Needed a nap. You need a goat.
Yeah, I see a goat. That'll wake you up.
There you go. So we could, after you do cryptid reports, if the clouds don't move up, we still got some stars. Maybe we can see some of those weird lights that have been appearing and disappearing.
Is there anything on it right now?
No, it's too early. They start showing up like 11:15 to 11:45. So it's too early for the lights to show up. So it always happens around the same time of night. That's what's really kind of getting me wondering, like, what's going on in the sky. Hey, Daryl.
Hi, Daryl.
She's got a smiley face in the howdy. So ignore us tonight if we're kind of spacey and not in it. We're kind of exhausted from the fresh air walk. Maybe we shouldn't have done that long walk. We just went, hey, we got enough time to go for a nice walk up the field and check things out. And then we hit the railroad tracks and walked them for a while.
I was about half asleep till I came down here. Now I'm waking up.
And then a train came, so we had to make sure we weren't on the tracks. Popping in for a little bit, a break from online testing. Online testing? What are you doing, Tammy? Welcome in, Tammy. Well, I think we're going to feel it in the morning.
Who's the red tip savage. I saw somebody say hi to Savage and I couldn't figure out where's Savage at, but it's red tip savage.
Yeah.
I got it.
What do you want us to call you, Red? You want us to call you a savage or just call you Red?
Red.
Like to go there. Never been south of Port St. Lucie? Where's Port St. Lucie at? I don't know where that is. You know?
I don't know. Is it a star fort?
Tammy says that she's reactivating her police officer license.
Oh, that's right. She told us that.
Yeah, and she's tired of being broke, so she wants to be a cop again. And we can call him either or. Was Red Savage.
Red Savage.
Yeah, little lady who.
So what's the best camera? Sky, Goat? No, not Goat. Backyard.
For the stars, I'm doing garden, but it does seem like there's still some stars. We just can't see right above the senior citizen condos because that's where the storm is over in Iowa.
Well, I just thought I'd let everybody.
Yeah, we can.
Just let everybody until we get going. Just kind of check it out and.
Yeah, because the strange lights that appear won't show up for about a half an hour or so.
Let them see our view for right at the moment. Because who knows, it might get cloudy and stormy and they won't see nothing later. So I might as well show them something, even if there isn't any lights flashing or anything.
Red says it's on the eastern coast side of Florida, just north of Lake Okeechobee. Did I say that right? Okeechobee.
Yeah, we talked about the Everglades. We were down way at the tip. It would be the western side, almost down at the bottom of Florida. We're talking about the Everglades and the creepy stuff, the alligators and
missing people
and all kinds of stuff.
Plane crashes.
Yeah, Flight 401. We talked about that for a little while, and we hit a lot of national parks. We hit Grand Canyon, Yellowstone. Oh my gosh. Huge list.
I'm trying to think.
Mammoth Caves. We talked about them and
the Appalachian Mountain area. What was that called?
Smoky Mountain.
The Smoky Mountain National Forest.
Yep.
Roger. Welcome in, Roger.
Hi, Roger.
Yeah, that was a good show.
But I had a list. Jessica had her list, and I had a list prepared. I had, I don't know, probably 10 or 12 more national parks and haunted. So I think every national park and every national forest has their own stories, obviously, of missing people and haunted and cryptids, whether it's Bigfoot or specific ones like Smoky Mountains, and that area has Wampus and Spearfinger for a cryptid. And well, Spearfinger is actually a witch, a Cherokee
in the Appalachians.
And Wampus, I don't know if Wampus is from Cherokee or not, but it's a cryptid that people report seeing. But all the way from missing people to the Headless Bride of Yellowstone to people hearing voices and screams and coughs in Mammoth Cave. You can hear the tuberculosis supposed patients that would cough.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
When nobody's around you.
That was in one of those caves.
Catawampus. Yeah, that's a new nickname for you there, Kathita.
Catawampus.
You can be a wampus cat.
That's cute. And I don't know what we're going to talk about tomorrow on Heidi's show.
Has anybody been to any national? Yeah, I don't know what we're talking about on Heidi's. I guess just good old times and how we all met and got online for the first time. And I don't know. But has anybody in chat been to a national forest or national park and experienced anything? Because that's what we talked about on Jessica's show, is all people's experiences or reports and park rangers. I talked about the one park ranger that it was really, really strange. A little boy comes up to her and talking in a real quiet voice and says, if you listen quietly, the trees talk louder than humans, and then took off. And that was in the national park where it's called Whispering Pines.
And why would he say something like that? That's odd.
And then take off.
Yeah.
So was that really a little boy that came up to her, or was it just a little boy that's very intuitive or has gifts? Or
Red said he's been to the Petrified Forest.
oh yeah, Petrified Forest. We actually have I think it's a redwood that's petrified in one of our parks close by, about 40 minutes away.
Clay said he went to the south rim of the Grand Canyon last summer. It was awesome.
Nice.
I haven't been there since I was a kid, visiting my dad in Arizona.
Did you see any Egyptians? Any mummies in the Grand Canyon?
Any cryptids?
Chariot races?
Chariot races? Where'd that come from?
I don't know. That's what Romans and Egyptians rode on chariots.
No mummies.
No mummies.
No Egyptian artifacts.
And I didn't get a chance to mention it. I was going to, but in Mammoth Caves in 1935, they found a mummy in the caves, a mummified man.
In Mammoth Cave?
Yeah, in Mammoth Caves. When that guy, whatever his name is, I can't think of his name right at the moment. But when he bought it, turned it into a hospital.
Right there.
Huh?
If you guys see in the middle of the screen towards the bottom, there is a light moving. Are they going to start early? I don't think it's blinking. I don't think that's a plane. Well, this one's lasting a long. Some of them are just appear and then they disappear right away. Some of them last a little bit. That's going to disappear. That's one.
Yeah, it kind of gets blurry.
There it goes. That's one of our strange light. That's early. It's after.
I can still barely see it.
They must be lasting longer than an hour now.
I can just barely see it pixelating.
You zoomed in, and you're really going to kill it if you zoom in. Shoot, I'll let you guys know if I see it. That's early. And last night it seemed like they lasted longer. And they're not in the same spot, so they're not Starlink. This has been happening for several weeks now, about the same time of night. We got these similar to, if you guys seen my Big Dipper videos. It is almost the same spot as when the Big Dipper is over there in the fall. But these lights are appearing, they brighten up, and then they disappear. They're not following each other. They come out in different spots, so I know it's not Starlink. I don't know what these things are. And you guys know we've got this huge view of our sky. Why? That small, tiny little area is the only place that I'm seeing them.
I didn't see it reappear. Red's asking if it reappeared in a different place after it blinked out.
They blink out and they're gone. They appear, they brighten up, and then they disappear. Once in a while, you'll see one following one, which I kind of went, oh, is that Starlink? But it's not Starlink train. There's more of them. You don't see two of them, and then several minutes later see more. Some of them, they're above each other. There's two of them moving. And it was lasting for an hour. Now it's about an hour and a half. Well, it's usually not until about 10:30, quarter to 11 is when they really start acting up. So that one was kind of early.
Now Ghost Lore's a vampire. She was a Wampus cat. Now she's a vampire. She's going to go bite somebody.
She's going to go bite. Clay says, I lived in Utah for several decades. There's some amazing parks in southern Utah. Ooh.
That's the thing. I think every state has some kind of, whether it's a state park or a forest or, hi, Dragonfly.
Hey, hi, Dragonfly.
Or a cave system or. So I'm assuming you can probably make a list of every single state and every single national park or state park and come up with a pretty good storyline for missing people, cryptid reports,
There's one that's starting to disappear already.
folklore, deaths.
This is so weird. And another thing about these strange lights, they start out like towards the left of the screen, and then closer to 11:30, they're moving down. They're moving over towards the right of the screen. So at the beginning, it's on one side of the senior citizen condos, and then they go over. So they're moving through the night, that hour and a half. And if you see flashes, yes, Iowa is getting some storms. In the lower part of the horizon, you can see the lightning.
Red says my brother's UFO experience was with a big sphere of light around in 1978, nearly blinding light, he said.
Oh, wow. I haven't checked out Monkey Works here lately. I recorded some last year around May, that was in the northern lights, that seems like this, that they disappear, and it's not the Big Dipper activity. That happens in August to September, and that's when we see thousands of them.
So here comes
just a bunch of them going all over the place.
Here comes a plane.
Yeah,
going the opposite direction, almost the same height as that other thing was.
And some of them get really bright. And sometimes you see 2 or 3 of them. I was just all lightning.
Yeah, it's been lightning the whole time we've had this up.
So this is kind of early for them to start, because I've been trying to watch the times when it's starting, when it's ending.
Well, I just wanted to give everybody a view for a while, just so they know what we're talking about when we're saying we have cameras outside and our night view, and it's nice and clear right at the moment. So,
I've asked a couple people. One person I asked said is more likely Starlink. I swear everybody says a Starlink, but why in that small little spot in the sky when we have it all over the place?
Right.
So, and the same time of night, I know there's a lot of Starlinks out right now, but this time of night, the sun is far down, so I don't see it reflecting off of, and you're not supposed to have them reflect off after the train separates. I mean, I know they claim that there's a bunch of them up there.
Yeah, Elon said that he was going to rotate the solar panels so you didn't get a flash or a flare off of them. So I don't know if they're still doing that or if they've adjusted all of them.
The only time we usually saw them was when there was a train, when he just launched them.
Yeah.
So I really don't know what this is. Like I said, I saw them last year in the northern sky. It just seemed like a lot of things appear and disappear in the northern sky. And where I'm pointing right now is directly to the Quad Cities, Davenport, Iowa. So, and they're heading towards, like Wisconsin. As you can see in the horizon, you see the lightning. Well, it's not lightning in Illinois. That lightning is in Iowa. So I don't know.
Hi, CRJ.
Hey, CRJ, welcome in. We're just kind of sky watching right now. Before the clouds. I don't know if we're supposed to get any of these clouds or not.
I don't know either. I just thought I'd bring it up at the beginning of the show just so people can see what our cameras see and what we're talking about, and whether it's still clear and not cloudy by the time we get ready to show whatever's moving, if there's anything at all.
There's some good storms over there. They're not even close to the Quad Cities. They're heading up towards Wisconsin and Milwaukee area. The storm is. So maybe we'll be able to see some strange lights. And
Hi, Bigfoot Dwarf.
God, Dwarfy.
Did you catch the I think it was in California, the U-Haul crashing into a house or a building
Ooh, I didn't
today?
hear that. Oh, wow, really? In LA?
I don't know if it was LA or not. I think it was California though. Big giant U-Haul
Oh,
just
my.
crashed right into a building. Entered the building.
And CRJ, we're tired. Yeah, we've been doing.
I'm awake now. I was starting to drift off during the end of Dennis's 100th episode. If you guys have not been Hunting the Shadows, Dr. Dennis Carroll, I do a show with him on Monday nights. Well, tonight was his 100th episode, so he gave away some prizes and hung out with people in chat and talked about the Raven Mocker cryptid, the Raven Mocker.
Welcome in, Derek. Yes, we've been praying for New Jersey. That is
Hi,
very,
Derek.
very strange having these wildfires in New Jersey.
Yeah, what's up?
I feel bad for
I
them.
didn't know there was that much in Jersey, the Jersey Shore, to
Right.
have wildfires.
You know, and then we heard Myrtle Beach area in the South Carolinas having fires. It's just very strange places for wildfires. Yeah, I feel bad for them over there. Wow. No, and CRJ, we're just kind of tired. We've had some extra shows this week. We were on Jessica's show earlier. Tomorrow we're going to be on Heidi Pop's show. And it just seemed like we haven't had a break this week. There's been
No, so far I've well, other than Friday, Saturday, we do movies, so we're not necessarily on screen, but we're up the whole time and then chat. And then Sunday we didn't do a show. Monday I did a show with Dennis on Hunting the Shadows called The Road Less Traveled. That was a great show. Then what was Tuesday? Tuesday was Kate Ray right?
Yeah.
Hair in the Thicket.
There's
Is
one.
that right? Hair in the Hawthorne. I'm sorry. She's from the UK and she talks about fairies and elementals, and she actually talks about more than that, but we just ended up talking about fairies and all that good stuff. So that was a great show. If you guys haven't seen that, please go back and check out our show from Tuesday.
There's a small light going up, guys.
Then, as Jane said, today was Jessica Jones, the Cryptid Huntress. We were on there talking about haunted national parks, and tomorrow we'll be on Heidi Pop's. That's getting brighter.
Oh, that's how some of these get really bright. And then it's like they power up and then they're gone. And they're different directions too. So how can that be Starlink? And it's definitely not a Starlink train. And it can't be the satellites that are already up there. And it's only in this part of the sky. And some of them get really bright. Yeah, just a little tired. Yeah, and plus we went for a nice long walk up the train tracks and was checking things out. So we were kind of, I think, we're going to be feeling it in the morning.
We walked partial on train tracks and most
field.
of it through the field, and then we hit the little wooded forest area and spent quite a bit of time there, then walked back.
Yeah, I found a praying mantis egg sac, so I picked that off the weed and brought it back so we can have praying mantis in our backyard. Found a knife in the woods. What else was it that we found? A feather, a pretty rock.
We found a couple golf balls that we re-gifted and put in places so we can go back and see if they're still there when we go back.
We found 2 golf balls in the field. So yeah, I just kind of placed them in different spots.
I wanted to find some deer antlers or some arrowheads, but didn't happen to see any today, or so maybe
Yeah,
next time we'll get lucky and we'll be able to walk the field and find some arrowheads.
we were wearing our special mushroom antler glasses too. They're supposed to make them pop.
Yeah, so that was the first time. Well, that was the first time we really used them. We've kind of had them on before just to kind of check them out, but didn't really go anywhere. We were just out in the yard. But this was the first time when we went out for our little hike and put the glasses on, and it does change the colors of everything, believe it or not. Uh-oh.
Did find mushrooms, but not morel. Not the kind that we eat. But there was some mushrooms out there. And the
So
same.
we are hoping to go to a different spot and try our mushrooms. Because that direction, I mean, I've seen the videos, obviously, and that's why we bought the glasses, because it's supposed to make mushrooms and antlers and stuff like that pop. So we're going to try a different area, and hopefully, I want to see a mushroom to
Hi,
see what the
OCST.
difference is between a naked eye, see if it's actually what they say it looks like.
I know. I want to find a morel. There is that a plane? That's blinking, isn't it?
Do either of you have 3D glasses for sky watching, the old ones?
Well, we got some of the old ones, but at night you can't really use them at night. We tried them at night. Derek, I saw you earlier. That lightning is in. There's storms up in Iowa, and you can see in the low horizon that is actually Iowa. So we're not getting storms in Illinois, but you're seeing the lightning of the storms.
Hi, Oklahoma cryptids.
Yeah, I figured OCST was coming in since CRJ is in here.
But I bought some of the paper or cardboard 3D, the red and blue lens glasses, the real cheap ones, the old style. I don't know if they've changed the cellophane or whatever the lens material is, but I did put 2 of those back to back, so red and blue is together and red and blue on the other side was together, so it makes a weird, I don't know, it's a weird, not really a pink, not really a purple, it's kind of in between, so it changes the sky and looks really cool.
They work really cool during the day, but at night.
Yeah, during the day they look fantastic. So
I need to get my psionics out and actually see what is all going on over there in the sky that we can't actually see on the camera. And the psionics will pick them up. Just like the Big Dipper event, you can see a few on these outdoor cameras, but not as many as the psionics.
Yeah, I got a few pair of the Eclipse glasses, but those are
a great show. You had some strange people on today, but it was a good show.
Hi, Jessica. We were just telling everybody about the national parks that we talked about today a little bit. Plus, we're checking out lights moving around in the sky right now. We got a few weird things scooting across the sky.
You're welcome. We had fun on your show today. It was a good show. At least you won't have tomatoes being thrown at you about compared to that one show we did.
I was just telling everybody I didn't think I got a chance to mention it, or I don't think you mentioned it, but when we were talking about Mammoth Caves and when the doctor bought the property to make the tuberculosis hospital, they actually found a mummified man in the caves when they were exploring or digging them out. I think that was 1935 when they found it.
So what happened to it, Smithsonian?
It's in a museum you know how they do postcards for everything. They actually made a postcard of that mummified man for Mammoth Mountains.
Really?
Mammoth Caves, I'm sorry. Yeah, so you can find a postcard online. Plus the picture of, evidently they like taking pictures of that kind of stuff and putting it on postcards.
Hi, Laura. Welcome in.
Hi, Lakeside.
The mummified man.
Yeah.
It's haunted for
It's
sure.
all
I'll look it up.
the picture I saw was he was kind of almost curled up in a fetus position.
Kind of like the ones down in Peru?
Kind of like that.
Or was
The
it
ones
Peru?
from
The little thing that's all kind of,
Mount Vesuvius.
wow.
But this was in the caves in Mammoth.
Interesting. They didn't mummify people around the whole world, did they?
Well, how far do we know the Egyptian culture went across the U.S.? Because they certainly did.
Well, look at all the Egyptian stuff over here, so that would make more sense. Brown Dreezy.
So, like Jessica said, if you go to Pyramid Lake, or where they got the Egyptian settlement in underneath the lake, that's not that far away from Mammoth Caves.
Dwarfy's never had a pierogi?
A pierogi. I have never had a pierogi.
You haven't had a pierogi either? Oh.
No, you guys have ate them.
Yeah. Yeah, we've made them homemade. Yeah, Jessica says, I bet the Egyptians were in that cave.
I bet they were too. They were probably in the cave system all across the whole U.S. I mean, why else would we have all the cities and all the monuments, as far as buttes and all that stuff named after Egyptian? That just doesn't make sense to me.
Oh, Brown Dwarf did have some. Yeah, the potato and cheese are the best. Well, I saw someone in Jessica's chat. I was trying not to re-chat, but someone over there mentioned that the Monmouth Caves, they heard that. Now, I heard that they could go to Inner Earth, but someone mentioned that the tunnel system goes to the North Pole. So that's the first time I heard that. So I'm not sure if that is true or not. But we have heard that they can go on Inner Earth. With all the pyramids and national parks, they surely have caves around. You still there?
Who?
You. Are you reading?
Yeah, I'm reading.
Ah.
I was reading Red talking about a Bigfoot history in North Georgia. My only cryptid experience was with a dog or a wolf person in 1975 or 76.
Ooh.
Then I was reading Jessica's. Yeah, there's got to be with all the pyramids and the national parks. There's got to be caves and stuff inside there. Of course, we'll never know about it because
they block them off.
They always block them off and hide them from us, or take them and bury them in the Smithsonian, supposedly in the Smithsonian. I don't even really know if even that stuff is even still there. They probably got rid of all of it.
They're probably destroying it. Hey, Joanne. I'm glad you found your cat. And Dennis is in here. Hello, Mr. Carroll. Congratulations on your 100th show.
Yep, Dennis just celebrated his 100th episode tonight, and had a giveaway. He gave away some great prizes tonight, and I'm sure he'll do some more giveaways on some more occasions.
All right, it's getting close to that time that the real lights start showing up a little more. There's one. Oh, that just came out and bleeped, and
I didn't see it.
Wow. Oh, it's still kind of there, but there's another faint one low. Some of them just appear real quick and then they're gone. Then they disappear.
Wow.
Other ones brighten up and they last a little bit longer. Yeah, those two are short ones. Darn it. And if I try to zoom in, but sometimes they're way up high and then you're missing them. So that's why I just been leaving the camera where it's at, so you can actually see the whole sky.
Let me see if this will make a. Let Let me turn on the other monitor.
And I've got the infrared off so you can see them better, so you don't see the other things distracting.
Let me see if I can make this even bigger. If I put it over here.
That's a plane. It's blinking. There's one in front of it, though. Towards the middle of the screen. You can barely see it. And poof, that one didn't last long. So similar to...
That really didn't make a big difference, did it?
Is that different? It looks a little darker. It does look like you can see it a little bit better.
There, I got us out. Got us out of the sky anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely a plane. And anyone new coming in, the lightning is over in Iowa, not in Illinois. And when you see planes way over there, I get on the flight radar and I find out, oh, that plane is in Iowa. Or on the right of the screen, if you see something in the low horizon, those planes are actually in Wisconsin. So then that's when I realized, oh my. And then there's one time I was seeing lightning and I asked you to get on the map and you said the storms were in like northern Wisconsin. And I went, well, I'm seeing the lightning.
There, I think that's the biggest I can make it.
That's good. Because right now is about the time they're going to start showing up. On more of a regular basis anyway. I was really surprised on how early we actually started seeing them. And then last night, they were lasting almost till midnight. So it's not an hour anymore. It's lasting more than an hour. But only in that part of the sky.
Yeah, Red's talking about burial mounds, and me and Jane's done a show on our channel anyway. We haven't been on anybody else's show to do it yet, but we've got maps and history on burial mounds where every major city had a big mound, but they tore it up when they were building, like St. Louis. St. Louis had a huge mound, and they started tearing it apart and getting rid of all the soil and everything that was in it, and used it for a foundation to level out the area to build parts of St. Louis.
That's horrible.
But there's a whole list of all these cities. Almost every one of them had a big mound of some kind. Maybe not quite as big as Cahokia, where in Illinois, the center, the biggest civilization that we know of anyway. But so those could have been big mounds that were part or offshoots of Cahokia. Maybe it was like us now, like we have Chicago, New York, St. Louis, all these big cities. Maybe those were all the mound builders offshoot cities in each region. And they all had their own big mound. So I tried to collect all the pictures of all the big mounds, supposedly, as they were either excavating them or they showed them before they excavated them. So hopefully those are will be interesting to bring up. And 30 minutes from us heading south. We live in Illinois, so 30 minutes heading south towards Cahokia from us, there's some Indian burial mounds, some little small ones. I think there might have been bigger ones, but I think they kind of wiped them out too when they put the highway in.
Oh, by Caterpillar?
Yeah. There was a whole, I think there was originally 6 of them. I think there's only 2 left that are visible anyway from the road.
So you think Caterpillar got rid of them when they built?
No, well, I'm sure Caterpillar had the state put the highway in, or, you know, obviously, or the state put the highway in.
Yeah, all these years, I had no idea those little hills right there in front of Caterpillar was mounds until you told me.
Then when I was working at Mitsubishi, a lady that I worked with in a few towns over from us, she was telling me that she heard stories that there was like an Indian burial ground or a site on a farmer's wooded area that supposedly is haunted or is like a sacred place that you can go there and you can hear whispers or chants or something. So I never that's about the time the plant closed. So I never really got to talk to her anymore about it or figure out where it was.
There's a quick one at the
I have
bottom.
an idea where it is, but not 100% sure.
There's one up at top too that disappeared. There is one at the very top of the screen, and there is one towards the bottom. That's why I don't want to zoom in, because once in a while you'll see them way up there.
Well, if you see one for sure, you can kind of zoom in on it and then go back out.
Yeah, then I got it's hard to focus. I got to turn the infrared on to focus, and then zoom in, and then turn the infrared off. Scoot it up.
So how's the camera view for you guys in chat? Does it look okay? It looks good on our monitor. That's all I know. So I don't know what it looks like on a mobile or a tablet or a TV.
Oh, a phone would be hard. Now the bright ones, definitely you'll be able to see. There's quite a few of them that get really bright. And they're almost identical to the Big Dipper. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to our channel, click on videos, scroll down, check out the 10X, which is a half an hour video, scrunched down to 3 minutes. So you can see how many of these things are coming in, brightening up, and then disappearing.
Yep. Hi, Joanne.
I just don't know.
Joanne says this is her first time catching our sky watching.
Yeah, I think that's cool. Well, we got a 24/7 on, and if it's not cloudy, I usually try to do a sky watch for a while. And then when it's close to bedtime, that's when I kind of set it for whoever gets up at early morning, and watches it. There's another one. Here's one, bottom screen, bottom center. That's brightening up pretty good. Not as bright as some, though. Some of them get really bright, and boom, it's gone. So, yeah, it's getting close to 11. That's when they start getting active. And I don't know if they're orbs. I mean, are they light? I'm not saying they're metal UFOs. I'm not saying they're UFOs. I mean, there's all the plasmoids. I mean, I haven't figured out the Big Dipper. I've caught that 3 years in a row. We'll find out this August. If it happens again, that'll be 4 years in a row that, the second week in August, all the way into September, every single night, same time of night, you'll see hundreds of them coming into the Dipper. But right now, the Dipper's in our backyard right above us. It still has to spin around. On the upper right hand of the screen is actually the W for Cassiopeia. I just don't know what these things are. They're not on flight radar. They're definitely not planes. There is one, the upper center, and it's gone. Here comes a plane.
D-plane.
And there's got to be other people seeing these.
You would think so. I don't know.
And it's always in the northern skies. So weird.
Yeah, that makes sense. There's Reds is talking about he was still talking about the mounds and stuff, and about
many are reported standing
like
on
Route 29 where they took out the mounds. Maybe that's why people see ghostly appearances, and that's how we got Resurrection Mary and other ghostly tales like that. Maybe it's because we've wiped out cemeteries and burial grounds.
Hi, Christine. And
hi, Christine.
We're in Illinois, central Illinois. We're like 3 hours south of Chicago and about half an hour north of Peoria.
Oh, Wild Southern Adventures just popped in. Said he was born in Roswell, New Mexico. Did you ever see anything in Roswell?
Yeah,
did you ever witness anything in Roswell?
I think it's a Lynx meteor shower, maybe, or meteor. Yeah, these aren't meteors. I saw some meteors the other night. These things are appearing. They're moving. They're going slow. Meteors are a lot faster. These
Plus
things are
they'll have a
appearing,
tail and they're
brightening
real
up.
bright.
They're like powering up and then disappearing, just similar to the Big Dipper activity that I've been getting in August. They just appear out of nowhere and then they disappear. And that's still playing.
Well, thanks for all the new people that's popped in tonight. It's awesome to see you guys come into our live chat. This is a hangout. We show the night sky. We might bring up some cryptid reports and some other subjects, but it's usually just what everybody brings up in chat. We try to talk about it. So please like and subscribe if you can for us. We're working our way up to 1.5 thousand. That's the highest we've ever been. So thank you all for coming tonight.
At least we're growing. I've lost 4.
Well, we still do that though. Even on this channel, we gain 5 and we lose 3, and then all of a sudden the 3 are back, or we got 4 back, or it's weird. I don't know if it's YouTube messing around still with the algorithm or what they're doing.
My channel's always been like that. I get a few and then they go down, then they go up a little bit, and then they go down.
We're doing good, Christine. How you been? We've been here still.
I haven't seen you, Christine.
We've still been doing shows almost every Wednesday, and our guest shows. So,
and our 24/7 still going. I know you used to hang out over there a lot.
Yeah, how you been doing? We haven't seen you in a while. Oh, they found little lady found your music channel.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've got I had 405. I was kind of happy, like, whoa, I got 400 finally. I had 405. Now I'm down to 401, something like that. Thank you. I'm just a crazy lady that just does instruments. Yes, I have a lap dulcimer, and I also have a hammer dulcimer, and I have a lap harp, which is kind of similar too. So yes, I've got a lap dulcimer, which I have a video of. I haven't done a video yet of my hammer dulcimer, but I am planning on it. And I have tongue drums, hand pans, Native American flutes, drums, ocarinas, all kinds of drum instruments. I make my own background tracks. There's a Dragon Collective. Hey, welcome in.
Hi, Dragon Collective. I see Claudette's in here.
Cool people.
Welcome in, guys.
I'm here. Oh, thank you.
Thanks for popping in. Hope you like it. Well, we just kind of hang out and chat, and we'll show the night sky, or maybe if a deer or something pops in the garden, we might show, tilt the camera down to see that for a while, or we'll talk about cryptids or Bigfoots or something weird like that. Or usually it's just hanging out with chat, and whatever comes up and we start talking about, that's what it is.
Right now we're watching strange lights that have been appearing every single night, if it's not cloudy. And about an hour and a half, same time of night, same spot in the sky, and we don't know what they are. And I don't think they're Starlink.
I don't think so either.
Not when they're coming in different spots. Some of them are going down, some of them go up.
I mean, if it looked like the train, the Starlink train that we've all seen, how many videos of them, we've seen it numerous times ourselves. I mean, we know what that looks like.
We've got videos on our channel.
These aren't anything like that at all.
This reminds me of the Big Dipper videos. And I've got quite a few Big Dipper videos on our channel here under the video section. There's one. Lower center of the screen. Come on, get bright. Come on. Some of them get really bright. There we go. Come on. Wow. I mean, is it a portal? I don't get it. There's one upper right in the middle. There's another one up more towards that disappeared faster though. So you can see they're in different spots, and the sun's been down for quite a while. There's no way anything is reflecting off the sun. It should be way down by now. Wow.
If we're on a globe
Oh, she can see them
and
on
the
her
sun's
phone.
going down around the globe.
Yay, she can see it on her phone even.
Nice.
It's
Hey,
wet.
Mr. B. Hi, Terry.
Hey, Mr. B. We're gonna see you tomorrow. Yeah, I guess there's new people in here. 5 o'clock Central tomorrow on Heidi Pop's channel. We're gonna be on with Mr. B and Jim Goodall. And of course Heidi. So that's gonna be an interesting time. Welcome in, Mr. B. Can't wait to see you tomorrow.
Heidi Pop LA, if you want to find it on YouTube, or
I think it's just Heidi Pop on YouTube.
I thought it was Heidi Pop LA.
I think on Facebook it's Heidi Pop LA.
Oh, all right.
That's definitely a plane. I haven't had anybody ask for a while. What's the blinky thing on the sky?
The blinky thing.
There. I said, it's a plane. UFOs don't blink. And I don't think these things are UFOs either. I'm wondering if they're plasmoids or something, but why in that part of the sky? I don't get it. The Big Dipper is in that pretty much the same, pretty close in the exact same spot is when the Big Dipper event happens in August, September. And that really baffles me on how many of those things come in that per hour. So I should probably get the psionics out one of these nights and just hit record and walk away and see if there's more than what we're not seeing.
Little lady likes your Martin houses. We added a new house this year.
Yep, that the one on the right that you can barely see, that's a brand new one that we got way up high for them. And we got maybe 12, 14 purple Martins right now. I think we had a few more show up this morning. So we usually have around, I think last year we had like 16, 18, and then they had babies. So they'll be in the houses until around July. And then once the last baby flies, they stay in the area, but they don't come back to the houses. They're just here for nesting for the next couple months.
We had 20 some last year, including babies.
You had like around, I think 18, and then they had babies, and they usually have like 2 babies. So we had quite a few Martins flying up in the field. So yeah, they're just now showing up. We might get a few more. The hummingbirds should be here real soon, and the Orioles, they should be showing up. Our daughter saw the first wren today, so I know the wrens are showing up. So spring is definitely here.
So usually in the morning, Jane adjusts the camera before we go to bed so you can see the sunrise on our 24/7 camera feed, which is on this channel, Midwest Night Watchers, but it's on obviously a different feed. So that's going on right now as we're doing this live, and we try to keep it on 24/7 until the camera needs maintenance or reset or whatever. That happens every once in a while.
And yes, Joanne, they come back every year. They just have that radar that they know that, these are their houses. And when they show up, oh my goodness, they're so happy, and they chirp and they crackle and they make like 5 different sounds. I mean, they are so much fun to watch, and they look black, but if you look at them in the sunlight, they are actually a deep purple. They are.
We have red-winged blackbirds, but they don't necessarily come to our houses or the Martin house.
We saw a bunch today.
Yeah, we have red-winged blackbirds, but like I said, they don't come to the houses or anything as far as to stay or nest or anything. But we saw a pileated woodpecker today.
Yeah, we did see a big pileated woodpecker, woody woodpecker.
Yeah,
I've seen red-winged blackbirds at the feeders once in a while, but they don't nest or anything. But when we were
walking to the Oriole feeder,
yeah. Oh, there's one in the middle, and it's already gone. But where all these lights are, that's where the train tracks are. That's where we walked today. We walked all the way to where the Blinky cell tower is, kind of close to the Martin house. So we walked that whole area today, and there was all kinds of red-winged blackbirds just cheeping and squawking.
The red-winged blackbirds are here for the season. They stay most of the year for us anyway, and through the good weather anyway, like spring and summer and that. But yeah, we saw a bunch of them today.
Here's a faint one. Are you going to get bright? Kind of bottom. Yeah, it's getting brighter. Yeah, it's getting brighter. There's one, guys. Yeah, it's a good one. I just don't get, it's like they're appearing in this dimension, powering up to the point that they can cloak out or something. It's just so weird. And then they're gone. Boom. Like, what in the heck are these? I wish I knew. I mean, that's what there's another one, middle of the screen. Oh,
Yep.
that's gonna be a nice one too. See, that's the same thing as the Big Dipper. It's just not as many. I mean, when the Big Dipper happens, I mean, there's several of them nonstop coming in or out. I don't know.
Hi, Rose Thistle.
Hey, welcome in, Rose.
CRJ said they saw a scissor tail flycatcher today. That's cool. See, that's what's so weird about the birds that we get that are here all the time that other areas don't get, and we don't get what they have. And
oh, we should be getting those buntings for a little while too.
yeah.
And Orion's belt is more towards the left. I could move the camera over. You can kind of see Pleiades and Orion belt for a little bit, and then it goes down in the horizon. And here soon, we will not see it anymore at all until fall, and it'll be coming up on the other side, on the east side instead of west.
Hi, Monisha.
Oop, that's a good one. Oh my, here they come. That was a nice bright one. Wow. I just don't get it. These are not meteors. There's another one right in the middle. Don't look like it's going to be as bright, though. Nope, that one's already gone. And the other night, we did have a meteor shower, and I did see a few meteors zip past, and they're fast. And you can actually kind of see the tail and everything. These, I don't know what it is.
What is, I've never heard that term.
What?
I've heard them called window fallers. There's a clash of dimensions, possibly sure fun to talk about. I've never heard a window faller.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Fallers. Huh. That's a new term for me.
And I'm sorry, I'm ignoring Chad. I'm watching the screen over here. And I got to watch the other ones in case deer show up. I just saw, darn it, I saw a cat. I wonder if that was Little Egypt. Shoot.
Well, we have sparrows that make nests under our eaves. We have like an eagle by our garage, and in between the head and the wings, sparrows and stuff will make nests there. So it could be any common bird.
And we got some sparrows in the martin houses. So some of these birds you're seeing in the martin houses are not martins. The martins are bigger and they're black, and the sparrows do take over some of those holes. And
they do reflect a bluish to a purple tint to their feathers when the sun hits them just right.
And then we got little houses all over the barn that the sparrows like to use. And our old martin house, if any of you old subscribers remember the house last year that the raccoon was able to reach up and popped them open and kind of destroyed the old martin house. So we kind of fixed it up and we put it over there in our backyard by the barn, and it's for the sparrows. They can just have the whole thing. But yeah, we have to clean out. We got to take all these down. Once we see the first martin, we take them down. We empty all the nest out that the sparrows did through the winter, and the sparrows have to start all over again. But it gives the martins a chance to actually come here, claim a spot, and then the sparrows can't use it. So they got to find a different spot.
Yeah, grackles. We get starlings that come in for a while and devour everything, then they take off.
Blackbirds.
We have some crows.
We have blackbirds that kill sparrows.
Lots of robins are normal here. Lots of redbirds, cardinals, finches. But we do have the flybys that'll come in, you know, whether it's the buntings or the wrens will come in for their time. And But if you go out to the parks, as far as like the nature preserves and wild parks and stuff like that, that you can go hiking and stuff in, they have birdhouses in our area where they have birdhouses for bluebirds and
There's a
all that stuff. So you can see those birds in the natural out there, but they don't necessarily come to our area as far as where we live.
And we do have mockingbirds.
Or they could be, we have trees. We have trees by the Illinois River close to us. So there's a lot of birds will come to the trees or that, that close as far as some of the ones we don't necessarily see in our backyard or our view of our cameras.
Yeah, we get chickadees, catbirds, cowbird. The cowbirds should be showing up too. The cowbird,
yeah, cowbirds,
Martin, but they got a brown head.
And believe it or not, we got was it pelicans?
Yeah,
we got pelicans in the field behind us every year for the last 2 to 3 years. 2 years.
Flying above the field, you mean?
No, the ones that actually landed in our fields. Remember the pelicans?
Oh, wow, what that was that landed in the field that one year?
I think they were pelicans. They got blown off course or something and landed in our fields, and they've came back like 2 years in a row.
Well, I know we got them up in the sky flying up and down the river, but I don't know. Maybe they were pelicans that landed in the field that one year.
Yeah, they were. I know they were.
They almost sounded like, oh shoot, it was that movie. Oh, they had the old lady. I can't think of her name. Hepburn. Blue Lagoon. No, oh shoot, what was that movie called? I don't know. We've got seagulls that we never had when we were little, and we got seagulls all over the place. I think the hurricanes have thrown a few things off here.
Yeah, we have owls. We have several different kind of owls. We've actually had a cool little screech owl that'll come up and stay in the area for a while. And we have bats. We've been filming bats in the backyard. Every year we'll have 2 or 3 bats that'll make a pattern and swoop through our backyard.
Magpies we don't have. I think those are the things that were down in Baton Rouge that will laugh at you, right?
Yeah, we don't have magpies. We do have chickadees.
We got a lot of hawks. We got bald eagles. Sometimes a bald eagle will even land in the field. So yeah, we see bald eagles flying around.
We have goose. We have geese every night land. Or when it's their time, when it's in season, when they're in the area.
There's a faint one up on top, close to that airplane, like it's following the airplane. That's kind of faint though. Yeah, there's one in the middle.
See one? It's going up, right?
Yeah,
going up at an angle.
Going up. And once in a while they'll go down. So, is that?
See you later, Christine. Thanks for popping in.
Oh, bye, Christine. So there was 2 of them that showed up there.
Then when you're here for the hummingbird season, it's really cool. We don't get the big variety like other states do. We just get the ruby hummingbirds, the red throats.
I got to get some feeders out.
And then the best time, or the time that we like, is when all the dragonflies. There's a certain time of the year during the summer that we'll get like 100 or more dragonflies in our backyard circling around and getting all the insects. So that's always fun. I had the camera out there at one time and they were dive bombing me.
There's a bright one. Down towards the bottom. That's fading out and gone. We did have a bat house, but it finally fell off the barn last year. And
they never used it. I know of.
We got usually around 3 bats that we see flying around the field. So they must be in trees or something. Because we did try a bat house. I don't know if they actually use them or not. Unless you put them up in a tree.
Maybe. I know they use them. I just don't think we had ours in a good place. They should have been able to find it and use it, but I don't know. Maybe they don't all use them. I don't know.
But we do have bats. I love watching them. I'll do that on the camera. That they like the tree in the backyard, so I'll put the backyard camera on. People can watch them zip back and forth and getting bugs.
And then, into the season when all the flybys, the travelers of hummingbirds hit our area, we'll have, maybe up to 30 hummingbirds, depending on the season or how they go. I mean, there's been years where we've just had our backyard swarmed with hummingbirds. And then the same thing with finches. We'll have yellow finches, and then all of a sudden there'll just be a ton. At one year we had every feeder was just full of yellow finches.
Hey, Firewater.
Hi, Firewater.
She's watching on her TV so she can see the strange lights.
Nice. And then cardinals, redbirds are the same way. They come at dusk a lot of times, and they'll bring their families or mates, and there'll be more than one pair. And sometimes during a certain part of the year or towards the end of the season, they'll do the same thing. We've had summers or falls or going into fall where we've had, like that one year, our trees were just full of redbirds. There were like 20 of them or more.
There was a bunch that one year, male and female. That was a lot.
Yeah, it was weird. I didn't understand. That's the first time we've ever seen that.
11-11.
So every once in a while we'll have anomalies where they'll just, for whatever reason, we'll just get a bunch of a certain bird.
There's a faint one towards the center bottom. He's already gone. Yeah. That's just so weird. Some appear real quick and they're gone. Other ones last longer and they get bright. But at least everyone's seeing some of the real bright ones. And I'm not the only one experiencing it. Other people are watching it now. I just wish I knew what they are.
Yeah, we have no idea. I mean,
like I said, that's pretty much almost the same area as when the Big Dipper spins around. And in the fall, August, September, that's when a whole bunch of them come out. But it's about around the same spot. And I've checked other parts of the sky. There's nothing. It's always here.
Yeah, I thought, because we first saw it, or Jane saw it first, associated with the Big Dipper, Ursa Major. So we watched that, several years in a row. Then where we started paying attention to like Orion or any other major constellations, and we weren't really seeing any activity in these other constellations. It's only in this direction. We figured out now, since the Big Dipper really isn't in that place, it's because it's not time for it to be there yet. It's still off kilter for our summer. It's not in the sky where it normally is for us, but
there's a small one.
Yeah, there's some minor. So, but we're figuring it out. It's actually the direction that we're facing more than just a constellation, because it's like right now, like Jane says, the W, the Cassiopeia is over there in
W is in the north. So this is more kind of northwest. I'm actually looking at the Quad Cities in Iowa. So it's more northwest that the camera's pointed. So the birdhouses and the W, like in the upper right corner, that's more north. That would be Rockford in Wisconsin. I just don't get, some of these just appear real quick. They're faint and they're gone.
Yeah, CRJ, we didn't get hardly any snow this year at all. We maybe got 1 or 2 inches at a time, and then it would melt because it got so warm. So it's like every storm we'd get 2 to 3 inches maybe. And then it'd be in a few days, it'd be gone because we get those little heat waves, or it'd start warming up close to above freezing. So our water table, as far as snow melting, is way behind for the year.
Yeah, we get woolly bear caterpillars.
Yep, we get woolly bears.
It's Truman with a flashlight playing games.
Truman.
Wow. I mean, if these are plasmoids or orbs or light beings, why in that part of the sky? I don't understand. I was seeing these last year around May. Well, This year I caught them actually in April. So it wasn't just May last year that I was seeing lights appear from time to time in the north skies.
Hi, Diaries of a Wandering Artist.
Hey,
Hi,
Diaries.
hi,
Welcome in.
Juno.
Juno. Hey, welcome in, Juno.
So wherever you guys are at, if you look just a little bit east of north, maybe if you have a clear night or a clear view, maybe you guys can start seeing these just like we are, and let us know. Let us know if you're seeing the same things we are, because it can't be just our view. It has to be. There has to be millions of people that should be able to see these.
Yeah, if you can see the W in Cassiopeia, it's left of that. I just don't get it. I mean, I know CERN's doing some weird stuff, but
There's a plane going through right now.
yeah. So we got another about 45 minutes of this. If it does the same thing as last night. It was almost midnight when it stopped last night.
Oh. Oh, I guess we've been on over an hour. I didn't realize that. We've been sitting here talking about anything and everything and watching the sky.
And
Time
birds.
flying by on us.
Yeah, we all share the same sky. Except those in Australia. We got the north section and they got down south.
Well, that's cool.
Here's
That's
one, here's
cool, Robin.
one.
We've watched James before, and
Come on, brighten up. Yeah, that's kind of a good one. Not as bright as something though. What? Sorry.
Robin's talking about James Gillian.
ECETI Ranch.
Yeah, so Jane actually recorded the exact same flying object one year that James had like 3 days prior at his SETI.
It was like 3
We
days.
didn't know it at the time, but it ended up being the exact same footage.
The one that's on his show at the very end of his little intro, you see that thing at a diagonal? I caught the same thing 3 days later. And that's the very first video on our channel, and that's why we are Midwest Night Watchers. So you can go to videos and scroll way down, check out the very first video. It's the same thing that James Gilliland got in ECETI.
So for anybody new to the channel, you go to our live, you can see every video we've ever uploaded as far as what we've caught, whether it's orbs or skyfish or UFO, supposed UFOs, whatever they are in this night sky.
There's one. Come on, get bright. Come on, come on, come on.
But then if you go to our
another one,
our live section,
3,
you'll see our weekly shows where we have guests on and we talk to people. And last week we talked to Kate Ray from the UK on Tuesday. We had her on. We were talking about fairies, and that's her subject that she likes to dig into. So that was a great subject. And today we're on Jessica's show, so I got that in our playlist. And then tomorrow we're going to be on Heidi Pop, and with Terrence, Mr. B, and we'll be on there. And Jim Goodall is going to join us. So Jim's a good friend of ours and Heidi's, and we all hang out together online anyway. I've never met Jim in person, so I'll put that out there. But Jim is a good friend. I've talked to him many times, and then we have Greg House coming from a Woodwalkers group. He's going to be on our show talking about Bigfoot on Sunday. But then that following Wednesday, we have another UK guest, Paul Stobbs, and we're going to be talking about, and this is Jane's connection. She found him and is reading his book, and we're going to be talking about the clown and Nephilim connection. It's going to be how the clowns through history and certain agencies have I don't know. It's weird. It's so if you look up Nephilims and clowns, there's a connection there, and he's had a lot of shows on that. So he's going to be on. That's going to be fantastic. That'll be another middle of the week, 2 p.m. Central for us.
That'll be next Wednesday, the 30th, and it's called Nephilims Look Like Clowns, which means these clowns are demons. They
So they're
are
supposed to
very
represent. They're supposed to be represent the fallen angels or the Nephilim.
and that will be a very good show. And if you like clown or if you're scared of clowns, that's not a show for you. He will
Well,
be showing a
if you're
lot.
scared of clowns, if you listen to the show, you'll know why.
Yeah, yeah. Because Paul will show a lot of pictures. Oh, some of these are really faint, but there is a few of them. Wonder if there's a slight overcast and that's why they're not as bright.
I think the clouds or something might be moving in. I don't know.
I haven't seen much lightning here lately, so I think the storms must have moved off a little more because I'm not seeing a lot of lightning like we were. There's a plane.
I think there's some clouds starting to come in because I can see different little pixelizations on my monitor where I don't think it was there before. So a few of the stars are starting to look dimmer. Oh, rodeo clowns, yeah.
Oh, I forgot about them. Oh, thank you, Red. He talks about the circus clowns, the Shriner clowns. It's cultures around the whole world.
Hi, LIB.
Hey, LIB.
Yeah, in the 90s, what was it, 90s or was it 2000s?
2016 is when we had
Yeah,
those clowns appear.
2016 when all the clowns started appearing up in neighborhoods and places and peeking at people behind trees and scaring them and stuff. And some of them actually beat some people up. They were actually violent.
That's when Paul said he started kind of looking into it, and then he really dug deep, and it's in the Hollywood, the musicians. They're all painting their faces and dressing like clowns and red lipstick, whitening their face. The queens do it, even the past queens, that they would put white paint. Chinese do it. I mean, it's a culture around the whole world. And so it's not just the circus clown or Bozo the clown or the Shriners. I mean, it's something that they are actually channeling demons. I don't like
Robin dated a rodeo clown.
You dated a rodeo clown? Ooh.
What was he?
Dude. The Joker.
Was he a good clown or a bad clown?
So yeah, tune in next Wednesday, 2:00 in the afternoon, our time, because it'll be 8:00 his time. So that's when he was free. So I mean, it's going to be very.
And we might start just a little bit later than that, depending on if his kids go down or not. We might have to delay just a little bit, depending on if his kids actually.
Yeah. Huh? I told him, I said, we can make it a little bit later. And he said 8:00 would be good. So I think his kids will be in bed by then. And that's when he usually does his shows.
Right. But we don't know. The kids might not be willing to go to sleep. You know how that goes.
My wife's dad was in Barnum Bailey's. Oh.
So yeah, I grew up watching Bozo the Clown.
Barnum Bailey Clown for 20 years. I didn't even think about rodeo clowns. Wow.
Yeah, I remember watching Bozo, and then we had Scooby-Doo that had clowns that, you know, they were always the scary villains in Scooby-Doo. And then we had, you know, then take off into the movies, you know, you had It and all those clown movies.
Yeah.
And there's even old 50s and 60s sci-fi movies where they had clowns from outer space and all that weird stuff. So,
and Dragon, you are right. The circuses, they were started by Freemasons. All these circuses, the circus clowns, Shriners are the top-notch Masons. So yes, clowns are associated with the Freemasons. But that's
we're not saying people that dress up as clowns are evil. Right now we're just saying that the makeup style and stuff is related or resemblance of what the Nephilim were, I guess I should say. I don't know.
So yeah, Paul explains all the history and why they dress up in bright colors, why the red hair, the red lipstick, the big grins. The ruffle around the neck, there's a reason why even the queen and everybody has this ruffle around the neck. It's reptilian related. It's very dark.
So I mean, even Ronald McDonald, man, some people are creeped out by Ronald McDonald.
Yeah, look how many kids were scared of him. I bet kids were scared of Bozo the Clown too.
Yep, and Easter Bunny.
Hi, Lantern Keeper.
Hi, Lantern Keeper. And we're getting all kinds of people popping in.
Yeah,
Cool.
thanks for coming in, guys. We didn't have a whole lot planned tonight. We're just kind of watching these weird lights.
We do have some cryptid reports to go over, but we're just kind of enjoying watching the night sky right now.
Yeah, we'll give it another half an hour or so, 15 minutes. If I don't see any more appear, then we can start doing our cryptid report. But we've had so much cloudy skies. It's kind of nice when I finally start seeing stars and I go, ooh, we can sky watch tonight. And that's not even the psionics. I still should probably go ahead and get the psionics out and see if there's more going on over there that what we're not seeing with the naked eye.
Yeah, Dragon Collective. We did a show, several shows actually, about Tartaria and Old World and the 1893 Chicago World's Fair and all the buildings and all the stuff that was going on during the fair, and showed a lot of the old pictures of the World's Fair. And Robin, it's going to be the 30th, which is a Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central.
A week from today, 2 Central. It'll be 8 o'clock his time in the UK.
And then Sunday will be Greg House from Woodwalkers. We're going to be going over his experiences and stuff on Bigfoot. So we have Greg House first on Sunday, and then we have Paul Stobbs on Wednesday to talk about Nephilim and clowns.
Pedro Lino, does that mean clown?
I guess.
Or is that a clown's name?
I don't know. It's a new one on me.
Yes, I watched it and loved it. Watched what? I'm lost.
Oh, the Chicago World's Fair that I was talking about, maybe that episode.
Yeah, that was with JT Follows JC that did the Old World's Fair. And then Brown Dwarf and Latchkey came on. We did Tartaria. Dr. John Stamey came on. We were doing Tartaria with him.
Yep.
Which actually I don't really call it Tartaria anymore. I call it Old World, because there was definitely some kind of an old world in our history that they're not telling us. It was not medieval times. So unless, I still think Tartaria wasn't around the whole world.
Oh, man. Oklahoma Cryptids said Moggs came on their show tonight. I haven't ever seen Moggs on anybody's show. That's cool.
Awesome. Wow. Yeah, I would look. I need to check you out later. We're busy during that time because that's when Dr. Carroll is on, and we're mods over there and on Hunting the Shadows with Dennis. Because you guys are always Wednesday night during the time that Dennis is on, and then we got to get ready, and then our show starts at 10. I need to check that out. Wow. Yep, the EPS you were talking about. What's EPS? Help.
I don't know.
What's EPS, Dragon? No, I lost it. Yeah, it was Dragon that said that. Lost your life. You had flying things all over your field. Yes, Lantern Keeper. Some of them could be bugs because the bugs are out now. But some of it could be dust once in a while because we do live around cornfields and factories and stuff. But a lot of these, they're orbs, they're rods, they're skyfish. They have bumps. Some of them people are saying are fairies because you can see the trail behind them. And we've seen them all year long in the wintertime, even when it's 0 degrees. And we don't have bugs in Illinois in the wintertime. So what we're catching, the infrared is picking something up. And I honestly think the rods and skyfish are possibly interdimensional beings that we cannot see with our naked eye. We've gone out with our flashlights, our UV purple light. We do not see these things with the naked eye. So I don't know what these things are. If you don't know what rods and skyfish are, we have some videos also in our video section of these bumpy things. And it's not a frame by frame thing that's making these bugs look long. Because you can see bugs on here. I mean, you can actually see the wings fluttering and stuff like that. And we don't have bugs in the wintertime. So some of these things that you're seeing, we don't know what they are. I mean, they appear and disappear right in front of the cameras. Bugs don't do that. They're translucent. You can see behind them the stars. So I honestly think they're orbs. And that's another mystery. We don't even really know what these orbs and rods and skyfish actually are. But
Right.
we see them in the wintertime when it's freezing cold and we have no bugs.
Hey, CRJ says, pray for Stevie Beef's
Yes.
dad.
Oh, is he still sick or did he pass?
No, I think he's still doing bad.
All
So I
right.
think
I
that's
know
why.
they didn't have a show the other night because of Stevie's dad. Oh. Yeah, I've been praying for her dad. Man, I feel bad.
So everybody out there, please lift Stevie B's dad up in
Yeah.
prayer. And
She's such a sweetheart.
I know.
Well, they were on last night, weren't they? Did they have a show? I was watching something else.
I don't think I ever made it over there to their show last night.
Unless they didn't have another one because of her dad. Aww. Yeah, I've been thinking about her. Well, come on, Lights. Are you done? The stars definitely are not as popping as earlier.
No, I think they're,
Give it a couple more
like
minutes.
I said, I don't know if there's a little haze coming through. They don't seem, some of them don't seem quite as bright or crisp as they were earlier.
So we'll give it a couple more minutes and then we'll zoom off. Man, I don't even see any skunks or possums, no deer. There's nothing else out there. Oh, I do see one moving. There's a real faint one.
Well, if it's a faint one, not everybody will probably be able to see it.
Yeah. Well, at least some of them saw some bright ones.
Yeah. I saw quite a few.
Stevie B was on with Moggs last night, but she was feeling sick. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, every now and then she won't be feeling good and she won't have her camera on, but she'll still be there to talk or type and chat. So we done sky watching for a little bit or what? Or we still got some more time to sky watch?
I'm going to do one thing.
I see something moving across. What is that right now?
Yeah, that
Is
is
that a plane or is that one of them?
Oh, it's kind of, it is one because it disappeared. It's still slightly blinking. That can't be a plane because I haven't seen it go across the whole screen.
I don't know. I just happened to look and
Yeah, there is one moving.
So I didn't get a chance to see if it blinked or not.
Yeah, it's gone. I'm going to see if we can see Orion's belt. Or is it too cloudy? Yeah, it looks like it's cloudy over there. That's where it would have been. We don't have a chance of storms tonight, are we? Do we?
I don't know. It seems like every day we've had a chance of storms. I don't know about tonight or in the morning. Hey, Bigfoot Dwarf, have you tried your, we were talking about the 3D glasses earlier. Have you tried your glasses yet?
Oh, yeah. Did you get your package, I hope?
Yeah, he got it. I forgot to tell
okay.
you, he got his package. That's why the tracking didn't work because it had already been delivered.
There's one.
Yep.
That's kind of bright. So they're still happening. What are these things?
I like sitting out on the back porch and putting those glasses on and just sitting there and looking at the sky, especially on a clouds. When there's clouds, it really defines the clouds, and you can see the empty spaces in between the clouds.
It's freaking some freaking rows out by moving the camera. Yeah, these cameras are amazing. We can zoom way into the edge of the field and zoom back out. They go 360. They just don't go all the way up and down. And we do have one that is called Skycam that Gerald has it. I don't know how you call it, rigged up, that you can turn it upside down and then tighten it. So it's actually facing upside down. So you can see the whole sky 360. So we will start doing that also. Because this one, I can't go up any higher. It can go down low to check out the chickens and goats. There's one. Now, that's why we turn one upside down so you can actually see the whole sky, and we spin it all the way around, and we really do a sky watch. Yeah, that wasn't a too bad one. That was kind of a bright one.
I don't think Dwarf heard me.
Dwarf. Do I have to get his attention?
Dwarf, report to the office. Dwarf, please report to the office.
Dwarf. Dwarf. Where'd he go? Dwarf.
I don't know. He's probably multi-chatting or something.
Are you using the 3D glasses, Dwarf? I turned the speaker down too low. Where'd he go? There he is. There he is. He said, all I see is sky farts here in LA.
Put those glasses on and start staring up into the sky and tell me if you ever see anything. I want to know.
Yeah, Dwarf got high and he missed it. Yeah, we want to know if your 3D glasses work.
I was going to go to work, but then I got high.
Hey, there was 2 of them, and they're gone.
I was going to be in chat, but then I got high.
And you need to show us where you put your stickers, too. How many stickers did you give him?
I gave him 3 or 4 stickers. He already had our stickers. I just sent him again just for the fun of it. I didn't want Dwarf to feel left out.
Put them on your truck.
So since there's new people, if anybody would like a set of stickers, you can email us at midwestnightwatchers@gmail.com and send us your name and your address, and we will send you some stickers out that have our Night Owl Lounge logo and our Midwest Night Watchers logo and Chiro Sounds music channel logo.
There's another one. Ooh, heading straight to the plane. They're going to crash. Ooh, boom. Wow, that was close to the plane.
Well, we don't know how close they actually were.
I know. It hasn't disappeared quite yet.
Oh, Dwarf forgot the glasses at his sister's on Easter. Your sister's probably using them. She probably won't give them back to you now. But anyway, if you guys want some stickers, some round stickers, actually, I got them right here. We got the
oh, goodbye, Red.
Night Owl Lounge, and
I'm glad you stopped by, Red. It's great to see you.
Ozzy taking off.
Yeah, that one and the plane kissed.
All right.
Fire water.
Thanks for coming. Anybody? Then we got Chiro Sounds, and we got the Midwest Night Watchers, and all those logos are on T-shirts. And this is our new creation, our American Legends, and this one happens to be Mothman on our printful.
There's 2 of them. Shop. There's 2 of them, and 1.
Today I wore the Bigfoot American Legends on Jessica the Cryptid Huntress show, and we have Space Penguins logo on one of our shirts for a special
And the other new one is my hand pan with my Wolf Chiro Sounds logo in the middle of my brand new hand pan. So that's a new shirt on our site.
So if you guys want to go check out our store, we'd very much appreciate it, but don't feel obligated to buy anything. But I think we got some cool stuff.
He was behind the chat and he just heard the sirens.
Oh, little lady says she wants some stickers. Cool. Yeah, just send us an email with your name and your address or wherever you want them sent, and we'll get them out to you.
There's 2 of them. Ooh. One was brighter than the other. That second one did not last that long. I'm glad everybody's able to see these. Now you know I'm not crazy and I'm making this stuff up. You guys are witnessing it too.
Dragon Collective said he subbed to your sound channel earlier today.
Yeah, thank you. Firewater, it's always 420.
Hi, Amber.
Hey, Amber. You still having your mist? I was going to message you and see what's going on. Still having activity?
I saw a TikTok, and I brought it up on Jessica's show today, Amber, about a ring camera that had a fog or a mist come in front of the ring camera. And you could literally, as people in chat were saying, they were seeing it also. And I could have swore I saw like a horse figure go through in the mist, and like maybe Civil War soldiers or something, some like human beings or some kind of entities walking through the mist. And the mist was taking the shape, you could see the shadows in it looked like people and animals and all kinds of stuff going through that ring camera footage. It was creepy.
The white one's gone. Now a black one twice.
Oh, a black one.
Where do you
that
find
can't
your,
be good.
Where do you find your email? It's midwestnightwatchers@gmail.com.
Yep, midwestnightwatchers@gmail.com.
And is it in our description?
I don't know if I've put it in so many of them. I don't think I have it automatically going in there because we usually bring it up every show anyway.
Some people like to see the link and just kind of click on it.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I get kind of bad at that. I try to do good.
They could have won the $1 million ring camera alien footage contest.
Oh my.
So you mean nobody won the ring camera contest? I keep meaning to set my camera up out back. I'll do it in the morning.
Yeah, camera footage is awesome, especially ring camera or like what we're doing, or I mean anything that they can collect data, and especially just to catch the weird stuff when you might not be there with your cell phone.
There's a kind of a faint one. There must be a slight cloud cover over there.
Hi, May May.
Hey, May May. Nice to see you.
See, that's another thing. She says she didn't remember that we were live tonight, and I was just wondering, maybe not everybody's getting their notifications again. So please, if you're subscribed to our channel, please check your notifications to see if YouTube or whoever is
check your bell,
unsubscribed us from your YouTube subscriptions. Because we've been pretty good at coming on every Wednesday. We had a little, like a week or two, I think we didn't do a show, but other than that, we've been on full time every Wednesday from 10 p.m. to whenever everybody gets tired, or sometimes 4 a.m. But
there's one. Come on, brighten up. Come on. Hey, that's not too bad. But then it just disappeared. That brightened up and disappeared right away. Oh, these are so bizarre.
So when the activity calms down or whatever, the first cryptid report's going to fit perfectly for our show, the Night Owl Lounge. I'll just say that. Hit
the ding dong. I was unsubscribed from your channel.
I like the ho-hos.
That's happened to a few people that you get unsubscribed and you have to resubscribe. It's happened to quite a few people.
Yeah, I mean, even us. I mean, I will sit there and it's like somebody was on. It's like I didn't get notified, and you go and check, and we're unsubscribed. It's like, now I know I didn't do it,
YouTube's doing it. It's so weird.
and I don't know if it. Oh, there was lightning. Something flashed.
Yeah, there's still a little bit of lightning over there.
There's one in the middle of the
Yep, there's
screen.
one. Come on, brighten up for us. Come on, come on, come on. Some
Nope,
of
it
them are so
gone.
bright.
It gone.
It just seems like they're powering up to the point they can get enough energy to cloak out. That's what my guess is. There's another one a little bit higher than what that last one was, but it's faint. And that's almost gone.
Almost gone.
Almost gone. Does that mean the faint ones are even farther away?
I don't know. I mean, we don't even know if some of these are holograms, if they're real.
I should have
Wherever
wrote
they
down
are.
when I first noticed it. This has been probably like 4 weeks that this has been happening every night. And the Big Dipper event, that lasts 6 weeks. And then that
Well,
stopped
we'll just,
altogether.
we'll just come on every night and just show them.
Well, I did 24/7.
No, I know. I know they are.
I mean,
But
if
not
they're
everybody gets. I mean, that's the thing with 24/7. When it's on for a week or more at a time, nobody gets notifications
Yeah.
or doesn't check it. You know, they come in the very first time that they get notified. Hey, they started a live stream. Then as a week goes by, we don't get any views because nobody comes back and realizes it's still on.
I have a few regulars, like Jim's cameras usually comes in almost every morning. He loves watching the sunrise and the birds and things, and he usually types in chat, says hello. There's a few people that actually know and they have to, find it. There's
Yep.
one. There's two. There's one right behind it.
Yep.
Man. I don't know.
I don't know either. It's beyond me. I can't figure it out.
There's no way we're seeing Starlink in one spot in the sky. I'm sorry. The sun's way down. If we live on a round Earth, the sun is way down the horizon.
Oh.
If we live on a flat Earth, the sun is over there. And I don't know what I believe.
Well, you keep talking about the cam. I'm going to go refill my drink or get a new drink.
New tea. A new tea. I got my strawberry Dr. Pepper. And no one's typing in chat. Somebody type in chat. Ask a question or something. Let me know what you think, what's in the sky. What's your opinion on these lights? They're definitely not planes. So any topic tonight I missed. We haven't really done anything quite yet. We just kind of talked. Then we started doing our 24/7 camera because these lights keep showing up every night. And they should be almost done. Here in about 10-15 minutes, we won't see a whole lot of them anymore. And then we'll be doing some cryptid reports. And after that, I don't know if we're going to have a subject or what. Hey, Kimberly. We get the same thing. What's in the sky? Everything. UFO, ships, spaceships, atmospheric creatures. Yeah, since we had Justin, Mr. E, on talking about the aquatic creatures that are way up in the sky. But it don't explain, if these are orbs or some kind of aquatic thing, why do they keep appearing in that same area as the Big Dipper in the fall? And that's definitely a plane. Thank you, Clay. So you get the same thing here in Tennessee. What, the lights? Because it makes me wonder if anyone, has a clear spot. If you look towards the north, yeah, there's one. There's a little quick one. But I think anyone, if you got a clear night and you can see the W in the north sky, other people have to be seeing these. There's one. Come on, brighten up. Some of them last a long time. Other ones fade out so fast. So what do you guys think it is? Sky whales. Now I don't know if Mr. E was talking about anything that big that's way up there in the sky. And that's a plane. I'm also in Tennessee. I can hear things in it. But see nothing. Just keep watching. I'm usually out there for hours, and that's how I accidentally caught the Big Dipper 3 years ago. I saw these bright lights, and I finally went inside and got our Psionics, which is a night vision camera that you see things that your naked eye cannot see. And I saw how many was appearing in that area, and that's when I started recording. And I've been doing it for 3 years. We'll find out this August if it happens again.
Hi, Kimberly.
Yeah, Kimberly just came in.
All right.
So yeah, the Big Dipper event usually starts around August 8th. And it's not the Lions Gate either, because this lasts 6 weeks. Robin just emailed you. She wants stickers.
All right. Purple Martins.
By carrying pigeon or purple martins. Kimberly is in northern middle Tennessee. There's a lot of people in Tennessee.
Yeah, nice.
I think Jim and Matt are in the central part of Tennessee, I think. Make sure to smack the thumbs up. Thank you, Amber.
Thanks, Amber.
That was a little faint one. That was too faint.
All right. OCST emailed us. All right. We got some stickers to send out. We haven't gave any out in a while. We kind of forget about, at the very beginning, when we were reaching, 100 subs, 500 subs, whatever the case may be, we're giving out stickers, and we kind of slacked off because we thought everybody that was in our chat or subscribed have already had our stickers, but
kind of
tonight
forgot.
I saw all these new people popping in, so I thought, well, hey, let's offer stickers again.
Yeah, we haven't offered stickers in a while. May asked if we had a topic, and I said we've just been watching the sky for right now. 2 topics we can discuss: sky creatures or reverse engineered technology we get that are watered down.
Oh, yeah. We did do a show with
There's one.
Yep, we did do a show with Mr. E talking about sky creatures, whether it was a jellyfish UFO or skyfish or all the stuff that people are seeing that are like plasmoids and stuff like that. So we did do a show on that, but that is one of our favorite subjects to talk about, stuff that's in the night sky, even though we do talk about cryptids and paranormal and all the woo and high strangeness stuff. We do like all that too, but we tend to go back to the night sky since that's how we started, and we love watching our cameras.
As you guys can see, it's later now, and we started this around, 10:15, 10:30? And like I said, they were in the left part of the screen. Now they're appearing more, the central right part of the screen. They move within that hour and a half.
There's one right above that house that has the water tower or flashing light.
I'm seeing that. That might be a helicopter.
That could be a plane or a helicopter, but I don't see it flashing. It's just slowly moving across the horizon, really low.
A lot of times that's where the black helicopters travel. Yeah, it's still there. So it's got to be a helicopter or a plane way over there on the horizon.
Yeah, so any night we're not having a show, our 24/7 is
Ooh.
usually up and pointed to the sky, or maybe it might, like if Jane's down here watching, hanging out in other people's chats or whatever, she'll move the camera to show a deer, a raccoon, or something that pops into the yard or our garden. But other than that, if she sees something in the sky, she'll put the 24/7 on the sky and let everybody see if anybody's in chat or just happens to pop in. So be sure to come back and check our 24/7 now and then, because you never know what you might catch. And you can let us know if you guys catch something and we don't happen to be in chat watching.
I just like watching the orbs and rods and skyfish, and we can
That
see.
probably is. I mean, other than you discovering or first seeing stuff happening by the Big Dipper, I say the orbs and the skyfish videos and watching them appear out of nowhere and fly around is cool.
My son was in both Iraq and Afghanistan.
Kandahar Giant?
Oh, he did not hear of it. Oh. Well, as far as I know, that was real about the Kandahar Giant that they captured. Jane Garrell, y'all should come to West Virginia and visit me in these spooky places. I know we need to.
I know we need to take time off and figure out who's going to take care of our animals for a day or two, and we'll just start taking weekend trips or day trips somewhere. And because we got all kinds of places we want to go and visit people that we've got to know through shows or in chats, and got to know people personally, so we like to come visit, or even you guys can come visit us.
I have an idea.
What?
Well, since the only kid that lives here works third shift and really can't get over here and put chickens away and stuff, our son and his wife and 2 grandbabies are moving back home, not here, but they're actually moving into my son's dad's house. So they would be around and available that would feed animals for us.
They could lock up the chickens for us or let them out, and we can take a couple day road trip here and there. And
because they're moving back to their to the little town away from the big city. Thank goodness they're getting out of Peoria. So yeah, they're moving back. I'm going to get to see my grandchildren so much more often. We do not go and visit them that much because we don't like traveling to Peoria. But that's an idea. They will be in town, and they would be available to, feed them or let them out for a little bit and make sure they're locked up. And maybe we could finally get out of here for a couple of days. Yeah, we get rid of our kids and they grow up and we got kidless, and we start collecting chickens and goats. And I do need to get that flock down too. Not have as many chickens. We don't need this many eggs. Yeah, I'm glad that they're closer, and we'll be able to. They always, they don't have a good vehicle to travel to visit, and we don't go down there. And so, what kind of goats we got? We had a big Nubian, but he passed away last June when we had the bad heat wave. He didn't make it through the heat wave, but he was getting old anyway. Yeah. Our other old one is half faint, but he don't faint. He's half faint and half pygmy. And I guess if you mix a faint, they don't faint anymore. You have to mix a faint with a faint. It's got to be purebred. So Gary's never once fainted. And then the 3 little babies, well, I call them babies, but we've had them for almost 2 years now. They're little Nigerian dwarfs. They're itty bitty. They're a little bit smaller than Gary.
Robin wants us to come out to California.
Dwarf does too. I know. Dwarf wants us
Dwarf and Heidi and Latchkey, and
yeah.
We got a lot of friends out in California that we don't ever get to see other than online or in shows. And
that'd be more than 2 days gone though.
Yeah, it would. And we can't fly because we don't have our passports or anything up to date, or our real state ID that you got to have to fly domestically now. You
I'm
got to
not
have,
going to fly.
you can't just have your driver's license anymore.
I'm not flying. We do have one female, and in order to milk them, I guess you got to get them pregnant, and then you can keep milking them. So I can't milk her. So no, she's not milkable, and her brothers and Gary, they're fixed. So she's safe for having babies.
Yeah,
I
if
don't
we
want
make it,
goats.
if we make it to California, I don't see why we can't go up the coast of Oregon or Washington and see.
ECETI. I want to go to ECETI.
Oh, ECETI. Yeah, we want to go to ECETI. Barb Hartman, Washington. She's in Washington, right?
Yeah, Barb's in Washington.
I think literally we could go to every state and visit somebody that we've either had on our show or talked to in chats.
Dragon asks, I never understood the fainting goats. I don't know how they made them do
Well, they
that.
altered their DNA, obviously.
Yeah, they altered the DNA somehow, but they have the fainting goats because they will faint and the predators will get the fainting goats and the herd is safe. And I know it's cruel, but they faint and then they're the ones that are captured, and then the rest of the herd, can get away. So that they created them for that purpose. So they faint and they're captured and killed.
Oh, Rose Thistle said that could never drink store milk, but then once they started drinking goat milk and kefir,
yeah, I made kefir.
They can.
Yep, I used to make my own kefir. Yeah.
So fainting goats now are basically, for most people, are just a joyful thing, something that they have on their farm as an oddity or whatever. But I'm assuming some farmers are still use fainting goats for the purpose they were designed. But
I think it's terrible too.
Or our guy is a half, so he doesn't. I've never seen him faint ever, so I think he's too stubborn to faint. I don't think the faint part took over.
I wish Gary did faint. I mean, I think that'd be fun, but to have a go. I mean, I understand kind of why, but to me, I love animals so much, it still would hurt me seeing, a fainted goat get killed.
Right.
I couldn't do it. But I'm attached
Well,
to animals. Farmers don't get attached to their animals, when they have a big herd.
But, on the flip side of that, if they don't get the fainting goats, then they're going to get your whole herd.
Right.
So, I mean, neither one's, there's not a lesser of two evils. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, road trips are awesome. We need to burn some cobs out of the car anyway, I think.
We don't get out of town that much anymore.
Well, we go out once in a while, or
wow, we're losing all of our stars now. And there's nothing else.
So what's that mean? Cryptid reports?
Yeah, I guess we can turn off the.
Well, if you keep an eye, if you see anything spectacular, let us know and we'll bring it back up.
All right.
Anyway, you can see it better now. This is the shirt I was talking about. We just put these shirts in our store. We have this one's Mothman, and today I wore Bigfoot, and we're calling it the Midwest Night Watchers American Legends. So we're going to put a cryptid on this design over the U.S. Map there. You can see it. So we got space penguins, we have Mothman, we have Bigfoot, we have a couple others, and plus all our designs and stuff like that on hats, mugs,
handpan,
UFO, musical instrument.
Firewater said get an RV and do shows on the road.
We could do on the road interviews. We could go visit people and go out on locations.
We have a bunch of old cats that should be passing away here eventually. That would be less animals to take care of. Eventually, we should probably, I mean, we're not getting any more goats. Once these guys, I mean, we're going to have the 3 little ones for who knows how long, 9 years somewhere. Take the goats with us.
Take the goats with us.
And our dog's getting up there. She's going to be 9 this year. So we only got a few more years with her, too.
Wouldn't have had any if it was my way.
I know. I
got to the point where I've had dogs my whole life, and I love the dog we have. I absolutely love her to death, but I was ready to go without a pet for a while, and
I
could down the herd, but Jane was still in the no, I want animals.
I wanted a puppy this time. We kept getting rescue dogs. I actually wanted a puppy, and she was 5.5 weeks when we got her. And she was exactly what I was looking for. Yeah, she's probably going to be our last dog.
Yep.
I'm tired of dog poop in the backyard and taking a dog out in the wintertime. That's why eventually we'll probably stop the chicken thing or just have a couple just to have a few eggs around. And no more cats either. Once these older cats are gone, no more cats.
All right.
So by that time, we'll be in wheelchairs, and then we will get an RV and travel.
Wheelchairs.
Wheelchair podcast.
I'll have robotic legs or something by then.
Can I pet that dog?
Can I pet the dog? Is that your dog?
Can I pet your dog? Oh, try picking up 17 dog. No, thank you. 1 dog is enough.
No.
And then when our daughter lived here for a little while with her Great Dane, that was picking up cow piles. That was horrible. Man. Yeah, I can imagine.
Then we got deer poop, coon poop, skunk poop, possums. Possums will sit there and eat and poop at the same time.
They do. They really do.
In one and out the other, all at the same time.
Being in the desert and taking them out in the heat. Yeah. She went, oh, well, see, our daughter that had the Great Dane, she just recently had to put the Great Dane down because they do not live long. And once their hips go, they're gone. So she had to put the Great Dane down, and they just got a rescue, and it's a purebred German Shepherd, 11 months old. And they got it for free. And she is oh my God, she's a gorgeous shepherd.
It was over this last weekend or during the week, and we introduced her to our dog and to us. So we were new to the dog also, but it went well. Everything was great, and the dog was able to walk around the house and get on the couch with mom and grandma and hang out. And our other dog was with me, kind of like, hey, what's this thing? What's this new thing in our living room? It's on my couch.
Oh, Robin, there you go. Tammy has one you can have. Yeah, shepherds are amazing dogs. I mean, they're so well behaved and very smart, easy to train.
We used to scare possums and pick them up by the tail and carry them around for a while. Then all of a sudden it'd wake up or quit freaking out. Then you'd see it go like this. Like then you just kind of like give it a jerk on the tail, or it'd go limp again. Like so, yeah, we carried possums around for quite a while.
Tammy, do you deliver to California?
Well, if we get enough people, we could probably do a carpool from state to state and a handoff to each people to get it all the way out to California.
What?
We got enough people in chat and friends. We can just get a hold of them. Say, hey, this is we're going to be in your state this day at the border. Come pick up the dog and travel across to the next state. And we have somebody waiting to pick it up.
Oh, a blonde German Shepherd.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Wow. Yeah, they're good dogs.
Either that or we just start a GoFundMe. I'm sure they'll fly a dog if it's in a kennel. I don't think you have to fly with it. I think you can just have it.
They don't need a photo ID.
I can make up a photo ID for a dog.
Wow. Oh, she fostered 2 German Shepherd pups a year and a half ago.
Yep.
For German Shepherd Rescue. They dumped them on me, never reimbursed me for the spay. Oh, wow. Private pilots will fly dogs. There you go. There you go, Robin.
I mean, we know people that have had rescued dogs, and they do the exact same thing where they hand off from city to city or state to state to get a dog where it needs to go.
Yeah.
So there's a network out there. You just got to tap into it and or make your own. Like I said, we probably have enough friends to go from one state to another.
It will need a real ID to fly.
A real ID.
Well, someone asked the other day, I was watching a podcast, they were talking, kids don't have driver's license. Do kids have to have one to fly, or is there a certain age under that they don't need one of these new
they'd have
new
to
IDs to fly?
They would have to have a passport or some kind of identification somehow.
Even flying in the United States to another city, you would have to have a passport?
You either have to have a passport, federal ID, or a state ID, a real ID.
A lot of people said they're not flying anymore.
I mean, we haven't ever done it. I mean, we've flown, but we haven't even bothered with it when they started putting all these rules after 9/11 and whatever their big deal is now. I don't think we should have to have a real ID, not to fly domestically.
Last time we flew was my mom's funeral in 2005. I
don't know if we even ever showed ID.
Not then, not in 05. We were just able to get a ticket and go straight to the hospital. So that was the last time I think we flew. Our daughter flew, but they already had passports, and the granddaughter did have to have a passport, but that was from Canada to U.S.
Now, if you come in from out of country, say you fly into New York or, you know, an international airport, Chicago or wherever, okay, show us an ID, show us a passport, whatever. I mean, they probably have a passport anyway, if that's what they're so concerned about. But as far as U.S. citizens, show us your birth certificate, show us your driver's license, whatever they need. But yeah, you shouldn't have to be required to have a special ID just to fly domestically if you're a U.S. citizen.
That's what he's eating. You can do the backyard camera. A possum's eating a donut.
Backyard camera.
Yeah, I throw those 3 nasty donuts out. There's the backyard camera. I threw those 3 old donuts out there. Normally I break them up in pieces, but I threw them out there whole. He's out there chomping on the donut.
All right, let me figure this out. So it's which one? Backyard?
Backyard camera. Oh, he's going to town. They're starting to get kind of old and hard and icky, so I just thought I'd throw them out. Yeah, he's loving it. Oh boy, there's 3 of them out there. They're strange creatures. Maybe I'll go up a little.
So tell me these animals aren't living the high life. They get donuts and chicken and steak.
I really don't want to give the chickens or the goats something that's sweet. So that's when I just throw them out and let a skunk or possum get it. I don't want to throw them away. I mean, they're enjoying it. But with all the frosting and stuff, that's not something for the goats or chickens.
I mean, we have stray cats that come up, and we'll feed them. But we have cat food. We call it barn food, but they have food for them, and they get table scraps too. If it's like something is still good as far as animals are concerned, if it's not spoiled necessarily, we'll feed the outside animals with it away from the house. But they end up having a little buffet out there.
Now he turned his back on us.
I think they get a buffet just so Jane can watch them on the camera. Actually, that's why we do it.
They all look chunky. Yeah, they're almost like Krispy Kreme. They're just a glazed donut that we get in the grocery store. Yeah, possums are. I mean, they're all fat and they walk funny. They walk like they got toilet paper on their butt. What about earthquake? What about an earthquake? Is there an earthquake somewhere?
I don't know. They're talking about. They were who was it? Just said earthquake.
Kimberly just said what? Earthquake? Wow.
I mean, California always has tremors and stuff, so it's hard to say.
Oh, there's an earthquake going on right now. Hey, where you going? Dude, hey.
He didn't finish his donuts.
Where are you going?
Maybe he forgot where they were and he's looking for them.
So, Kimberly, what about an earthquake? Is there one going on? Where you going, dude? Oh, he found something else. They are a strange looking animal.
Robin said something about an earthquake.
Well, yeah, they had the big one the other day.
Nope, he's gone.
He's gone. He gone. All right. Yeah, last Monday's earthquake was a 5.2. And it might be pregnant. I don't know. It is springtime, so some of them could be pregnant right now. We have baby bunnies and baby possums.
We got a squirrel.
A little squirrel.
Yeah, whatever that thing is in your bird bath, that fake squirrel. Oh. That solar light. I think it was a solar light, wasn't it? Well, I looked over and all I saw was a squirrel head out of the water fountain.
That's kind of blocking the hole of the mouse and the chipmunk, if we have a chipmunk. I haven't seen a chipmunk yet this year over in our yard. Well,
we got cryptid reports we can pop into if anybody wants to talk about some cryptids, creepy history for today. And we're going to go back, flashback, 1976. Cryptid flashback. I think maybe that's what we'll start naming it. Cryptid flashback.
Cryptid flashbacks, yeah.
1976.
I don't know if poppy seeds would affect an animal. Because I give them everything bagels once in a while. You think poppy seeds would affect an animal too?
I doubt it.
All right.
Animals' gullet and their systems are so different than ours. I mean, stuff that would make us sick, whether we get stomach viruses or upset stomachs, from getting ill from eating stuff. These animals, I mean, they eat roadkill, a lot of them on the side of the road. So,
yuck. Cocaine bear.
Cocaine squirrel. That's what we're going to have.
Cocaine squirrel. You were a junior in high school.
Junior high in high school.
I was a freshman in 76. I graduated in 80.
I was in junior high in 76. 1976, we were celebrating bicentennial, and I was collecting soda cans and all kinds of stuff that had bicentennial stuff on them. $50, silver dollars.
Never a man around when I need one. I have to take care of my own spiders. I am woman, hear me roar. I don't like taking care of spiders either. You can always go online and see if you can find a Bugzooka. It's a little plastic thing that what do you call that? Plastic spring or whatever, and you get up to a spider and you hit the button and it sucks it inside.
Got a little plastic accordion end on it that is spring loaded, and you push it in, which creates the suction when you hit the button. That pops out and creates suction and sucks the spider into a little trap in the tube. And then all you do is just open it up and tap it out, and you let your spider loose or whatever, however you want to dispose of your spider.
They were called Bugzookas. And they're probably still online somewhere. That's what I use if Girl's not around or if he used to have to work.
And it also has one tube inside of another, so it extends out so you can reach the corners of your ceilings and on the walls, and it's fast too. I mean, it sucks them in really fast. It's really good.
Happy
But
birthday.
wolf spiders and stuff we'll save and place them outside in the garden or bushes.
Your birthday's tomorrow.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, happy birthday. Oh, wait a minute. Finally, I get to do this. Where is it?
You're going to mess it up. Hi, Camellia.
I think this might be it. Happy birthday! It worked. Did you guys hear it?
Yep, I heard it.
Happy birthday! Oh, no. Look who woke up. Hey, Camellia. Hey, Blazer.
Blazer, where you been?
Blazer.
You've been napping? You went to sleep on us?
Happy birthday.
I'm sure, Robin, when I get up tomorrow, you can expect a Facebook notification for happy birthday.
Welcome in, Blazer. I don't know where you've been. You've been sleeping? It's more, I like that little emoji going, huh? Happy birthday. Another year in your 60s.
Oh yeah, you know Facebook posts are coming.
But if you do what I do, I don't have the birthday notification on, so nobody knows.
Oh.
I love the screaming goat. I do too.
If it pops up on Facebook, even if it's somebody that's still subscribed to me, we probably haven't talked in however long because it's just a group or whatever they've. Sometimes we'll have people that watch our show or sees us on Jessica or whatever, and they send a friend request, but then they don't ever talk to you. They just want to add you as a friend. If it pops up, I still send them a happy birthday or whatever.
Well, since I got 2 accounts, one is for YouTube. If I don't know them or know their YouTube name, they're not getting added. I don't know who they are. So they need to let me know who they are, or they're not getting added. Because you get all kinds of weird, strange people for requests.
All right. Well, since Robin said 1976 was a good year, I guess we'll do that.
Huh? You mean the cryptid report?
Yeah, it's 1976. She said that was a good year. So we got cryptid flashback 1976.
You need to get that microphone hooked up for special effects.
Blazer was 4.
Jane, I remember, but I wasn't online that day.
So this says, while on vacation with their 2 parents, 2 girls would explore the ruins of an old church only to discover fear itself. What was the Owl Man of Cornwall? So there you go. That's the connection to our Night Owl Lounge. The Owl Man of Cornwall.
The Owl Man of what?
Cornwall.
Cornwall.
Was it simply a case of misidentification brought on by the overactive imaginations of frightened children? Or is the ancient church of Mawanan a nexus of otherworldly forces, a doorway to the unknown? So we will bring up the picture or the drawing of the Owl Man of Cornwall.
Ew.
So that's how they drew him.
That's a big owl.
That's probably only 6 or 7 feet tall.
Blazer. Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. So this says, today in creepy history, 17th of April, 1976, Mawanan, Cornwall, England.
Oh,
Don Millen, his wife, and their daughters, June 12 and Vicky 9, are vacationing over Easter weekend. Well, Easter weekend. Cool. Should have been a giant Easter bunny, but
what were the names?
June and Vicky.
Oh, okay.
Don Melling, Mellin, and his wife and their daughters are vacationing over Easter weekend when they stop in a wooded area near St. Monin and St. Stephen's Church. And Mr. and Mrs. Melling prepare a picnic lunch. Their two girls wandered off to investigate the headstones surrounding the ancient 13th century church. Soon, a funny noise catches the girls' attention. Glancing up, they behold a 6-foot tall bird man covered in gray and black feathers, with a 10-foot wingspan hovering over the old church's tower.
Wow.
The girls race back to their parents in a blind panic, unable to console their hysterical children. The Mellings abandoned their vacation and returned home. While many consider this to be the first sighting of what is known as the Owlman or the Cornish Owlman, it would be the last. A lot of these reports are only one time.
Yeah. I've always wondered, why only one time for a lot of these. Welcome in, Scott.
Hi, Scott.
Who? Blazo just said who?
Who?
Oh, who? Who?
Look at those claws. So that's why I like bringing up Creepy Acres. Not only do they do it a creepy history by day or month, whenever the case occurred, but they have these fantastic artist renderings of what they go by the description and picture of what the cryptid would look like. I think they do a fantastic job. So there you go, 1976. The Cornish Owlman, or the Owlman.
All right. Because they don't ever take those drugs again. Wow, so that's why they're seeing them one time only.
One night only. Now performing Cornish Owlman.
It is weird because most of them are very strange cryptids that you don't hear of today. And it's only one sighting. Wonder why.
Goats are awake.
They are? Oh, Gary is. Yeah, because
I see a couple of them moving.
Yeah, the other two are laying in front of the chicken pen. Oh, that looks like Zeke and Gary's up. And I got the infrared back on, so if I start seeing some rods or skyfish or something, I'll let you know. Right now, it looks like kind of dust. I'm not sure what I'm seeing.
All right.
Fragments. Something.
All right. So now we got Creepy History 1920.
Ooh, 1920. Wow, 105 years ago.
So this is for April 20th, 1920. Throughout the 1800s, stories of sea serpents were common in newspapers. With limited knowledge of deep sea life, and we still don't have very good history of deep sea life or knowledge, these reports were taken seriously by many. However, as we learned more about the oceans and its inhabitants, the stories began to dwindle. So many So much so that by the 1920s, sightings had become quite rare. Interesting enough, the more rare they became, the more credible the ones that remained garnered. So this is 1920, April 20th.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, Loch
I
Ness.
need to lower this so it's the biggest it can be for the screen there. How's that? Is that better?
Yeah. So there's so much of them like Loch Ness Monster. They've got to be the same creature.
Yeah, I don't think Nessie has a.
No, isn't Lake Champlain the Champ or whatever? Isn't he supposed to look like Loch Ness also?
I don't think Champ has teeth like that though.
Oh.
Yeah, we have lots of sea serpents in lakes and stuff. I mean, I have a list. I think we did it on Night Owl Lounge actually. We went through the list and they all rhyme with Nessie, or of course Loch Ness was the first one or the one that's most famous. So everybody was naming their sea serpents after Nessie. So this says in Creepy History, the 20th April 1920, the Atlantic Ocean, the Tyne, a shipping vessel owned by the Royal Mail Steam Packet Company, is traveling from Casablanca to Rio de Janeiro when something in the water catches the attention of the ship's third officer, Thomas A.R. Muir. While near Steep Paul's Rock, a mass of volcanic rock located 500 miles off the coast of Brazil, Murr spies through his binoculars what appears to be a spar, a thick pole used as a mast or a yard on his ship, striking out above the water. Stranger still is that this object is moving in the same direction at the same speed as the Tyne. As Murr stares, the object suddenly turns and stares back. It's only then that the man realizes he is gazing upon a long neck and head of a living creature. It travels parallel to the Tyne for over 5 minutes before the neck curves over like a swan, and then the beast dives beneath the waves, disappearing into the depths. And that's April 20th, 1920. Other than the long neck and that, they don't really give us much description of it.
Thank you, Firewater. I just went and checked. I had 401 before Jessica's show. I'm at 408, so I got 7. I must have got a few more from Jessica's channel today.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure we got some other subscribers on our Midwest channel.
Firewater.
Maybe even tonight we got new people popping in tonight. They might have been the ones that came from Jessica's or.
Yeah, Firewater didn't know I had my own channel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, on my 24/7, if it's really windy or stormy, I'll put a playlist on with a bunch of my music, so they don't have just silence. So, thank you. Yeah, you're gonna go back to several years worth of crazy instruments. And when I first started out with my hand pan.
So this next guy, this next cryptid, or whatever he's classified as, I don't really know.
Probably a creep.
I think once you guys see the artist rendition, I think we might have to come up with a design and put him on a t-shirt.
Really? That's where we got our face penguins.
I really like him. At least the way they drew him. So I don't know. We'll let everybody in chat tell us.
Yes, Robin, I'm up to 408, and I had 405 a couple weeks ago, and then it bumped down to 401, and now I'm back up to 408. Awesome. And yes, I got like 3 videos in my head that I got to get done. I'm working on them.
So this is April 1977. So it says 48 years ago today, spotted over a course of several nights and made legendary by the research and works of cryptozoologist Arthur Loren Coleman. The Dover Demon is perhaps one of the most bizarre stories in all of cryptozoology. While it doesn't fit the classic description of a gray alien, it also doesn't seem to match much else. Speculations run the gamut, which some skeptics even suggest it was perhaps a baby moose. So that was 48 years ago today, April 1977.
Thank you, Blazer. It says 409. Why would it say 409 now? Ew. What's that thing supposed to be?
A little alien, or they don't really know how to describe it. It says it looks like almost like an ant to me. The way
it don't look like a gray.
I mean, it could be a little gray. I mean, I guess it could look like a little gray. It could look like an ant person.
Wow.
I just like the way they drew his head and body and the glowing eyes. I think that'd be a really cool logo on a t-shirt.
And the 3 fingers would resemble a gray.
Yeah.
I still think grays are little AI robots.
So I just like the drawing. I think it was a really cool. I think it'd make a really cool t-shirt.
He could be on our next cryptid t-shirt.
That's right. It could be. You never know. Or he might have his own t-shirt himself.
I thought little gray booger.
He's cool enough to be like a space penguin. Just have his own t-shirt, not even be a
space ant.
Space ant.
It looks like an ant.
It does look, the way they drew it looks like an ant. So we'll have to see what the description, if it tells us anything. So this is April 21st, 1977, 10:30 p.m., Dover, Massachusetts. Bill Bartlett, 17, and his friends, Mike Mazoka and Andy Brody, are driving north along Farm Street in Bartlett's Volkswagen when suddenly his headlights catch something creepy along the top of a low stone wall that runs parallel to the road. The small creature stands about 4 feet tall and has hairless, peach-colored skin. Oh, peach-colored skin.
Peach-colored skin.
There you go. Peach-colored skin with a texture like wet sandpaper. How do they know it has?
Did they touch it?
That's what I was going to ask. How do they know it's like texture of wet sandpaper?
Unless they touched it.
Its body is tiny like a baby's, but the arms and legs are overly long and spindly. Its slender fingers are thin and trindle-like. The head, however, is huge, melon-shaped, and big, lidless orange eyes that seem to glow.
And it was melon-shaped. Okay.
Yeah, so that's how you, I mean, that's why it makes it look like an ant, because of the head.
They drew it right then. Okay. Huh.
So it says it has lidless orange eyes that seem to glow. Bartlett is shaken by what he sees, but neither of his friends notice the odd being. Bartlett returns home, sketches the entity, and tells his father about the encounter. Fearing ridicule, he decides not to report it and only comes forward after he learns that other witnesses to what eventually would be dubbed the Dover Demon. I think he's a cute little guy. I think he'd look good on a shirt.
I wonder if that is what they call melon heads, because Dragon said, oh, wait, there is a myth in Michigan about melon heads. So is that what they're resembling and they're calling melon heads?
I don't know. I don't know if the two are related. This is Massachusetts.
Oh, it's Massachusetts. Because I know Jessica's brought up melon heads.
Yeah, so I think it's a completely different thing, because they said in that first description I read that this doesn't really match anything other than they were calling it a gray alien, but it could be something else, but they don't know. But I think melon heads are more round and like a pumpkin head or a melon, like a cantaloupe or pumpkin, some kind of melon.
Still looks more ant.
Yeah, gross either way.
True. Yeah. True.
I don't know. I just like the sketch. I think it's really cool the way they did it.
Oh, their artwork is amazing. I love their artwork on these crazy creatures.
And then
that definitely was different.
So now we have part 2. 48 years ago today, spotted over the course of several nights and made legendary by the search work of cryptologist Lauren Coleman. The Dover Demon is one of the most bizarre entries into all the cryptozoology. A 4-foot tall entity with a tiny body, long spindly limbs, a huge melon-shaped head, peach-colored skin with the texture of wet sandpaper, and large glowing eyes.
So they're saying the texture also.
Well, this is the same. This is the same person that described or wrote the thing for the other one. So this is part 2 of the same little dude. He looks more sinister in this one. Look at him. For some reason, his eyes and his head, he looks more mean and sinister. He didn't pick a very big tree to hide behind, though, if that's what he's doing.
And the body's a lot skinnier than a gray, so this has to be something totally different.
Look how they got him depicted standing on his tips of his toes. I definitely like the other picture better, but I like his stare of his head. That's kind of cool. So this is part 2 for whatever reason. 12 a.m., Dover, Massachusetts. John Baxter, 15, leaves the home of his girlfriend, Kathy Cronin, around midnight and begins walking home. 30 minutes later, a small figure approaches him in the darkness as he walks along Miller Hill Road. Believing it to be M.G. Bouchard, a young boy who lives in the area, Baxter calls out, but there is no reply. Baxter and the small mysterious entity continue to approach each other in the inky gloom until they stand only 15 to 25 feet apart. Baxter stops. The small figure does the same. Again, Baxter calls out, and again, there is no reply. Baxter takes a single step. Suddenly, the being drops down and scurries off the road at alarming speed. Baxter chases it down into a shallow ravine, but freezes when he sees the being now on the opposite bank, silhouetted and standing next to a tree. Unease washes over the boy as he realizes that whatever this thing is, he is alone with it, and it is not human. Baxter backs away and then races for a nearby farm street, hoping to hitch a ride home. Unbeknownst to Baxter, the same creature was spotted by William Bartlett, 17, 2 hours earlier, just 2 miles away. So on the same night, there was 2 reports, or the same day anyway. So there you go. Creepy History, 1977.
Yay.
And that is the last one I got for the night as far as creepy history.
We might have to get the garden camera. I saw a gorgeous long skyfish. Some of this I'm seeing might be dust, but I am seeing some rods and skyfish and things that I can't explain. Just like I said, we see some of this in the winter time. And another one. Oh, that was a nice skyfish.
We had people leave or fall asleep on us or something.
Yeah, we're down to 20.
It's probably getting too late for everybody. That's the only thing about us trying to pick a time that's good for everybody and late night when nobody else is on. And
But that was an orb.
Orby orb.
Some of this is possibly dust. But when you see something like 12, 15 inches long that has bumps on top, that's not a bug. That's what we call skyfish. And a rod, to me, looks like a cigar, just cigar shaped. It's not round. And bugs will be bright white and they're round. So you can just kind of tell what a bug is. But these things, I don't know what it is. I hope everybody sees a nice skyfish. Ooh,
Thanks.
that was some good.
Thanks, Robin, Blazer, Kimberly, Dragon Collective. I'm glad you guys are all still here hanging out and chat with us. Firewater. I was afraid. It seems like we dropped down when we started reading creepy history. Yeah, so maybe I don't know if people got bored with them or
back up to 21.
Or maybe they went to bed. I don't know, or had to leave. I don't know. Anyway, we just like reading them. We like the creepy history stuff ourselves. So
I like the drawings.
I know the drawings are amazing. I think whoever it is.
Yeah, I wonder if they got one person or more people are doing it.
I don't know. I don't even know where they come up with the drawings. If they have somebody on their team that does it.
So yeah, this is the weird stuff that we pick up on our infrared. Come on, Skyfish, where are you? I saw a few of them.
That Martin house is away from the other Martin houses. That's on the edge of our garden.
Not that one. That's our new one.
Oh, that's our new one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the one out by itself. All right, so that's the new one we just put up. So that is the same one then.
There you go. There was the Skyfish. I don't know if you're behind. Oh, you're close to the same time. Okay. 4:37, about 2 seconds behind. Okay.
Well, I think we could probably do that too. We can probably bring up the video just for the people that are still here that are new.
Oh, what, the rods and Skyfish?
I think I still have the video up here somewhere. I just need to find it.
What is the resource for the creepy history stories? I like to read the back issues. Now, are they on Facebook? Where do you get them?
I get it. They have a website and they do have a Facebook page. It's Creepy Acres. Just search Creepy Acres on Facebook, and they have a whole long list of them. We've been doing them
quite a while,
over a year now, and they keep adding new ones, and they keep repeating the same ones. What?
It's probably over a year we started. Yeah, we've been doing it for a while.
So every day when they come up with a new one or repeat the same one from last year, but they usually have new drawings or they update their drawings. So they're kind of new every year. So I just like saving them and bringing them on our show in case somebody else doesn't see them, or maybe it might be a cryptid nobody's ever heard of. Some of them are the ones I've never heard of. So they're fascinating to us also. So yes, Creepy Acres. Check them out on Facebook, or creepyacres.com, I believe, is their website. And they have stories. So they have a podcast, and they actually it's audio.
Oh.
And they actually go in depth of the surrounding report. Wherever they're finding the reports or the sources they're getting the reports, it's more detailed than what's on that picture that we read every week.
I didn't know they had a podcast. Wow. Come on, let's see a good one.
So yeah, if you actually go to their page and go to their YouTube channel, they have a YouTube channel, and they have their podcasts, and they go to conventions and stuff too. You can find them at sometimes a Comic-Con, sometimes a paranormal, sometimes an alien one. And they have they have like a Bigfoot mascot that goes to it. So anyway, whatever I was doing, I don't remember now.
You were going to get the video of the rod and Skyfish. With the different ones or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you actually kind of slow them down so they can kind of see and they are fast. And you will be able to see that they're as big as a marten house. So they're about 12 to 15 inches long. And it's not frame by frame, or everything would make everything long. And I can take still pictures, and so that
All
kind
right.
of eliminates the
So I'm
frame
going to take this one down.
and we'll pull it back up so you guys can see later.
Man, let's see if I can.
Oh, they have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, they do have a YouTube.
right.
That's what I was saying. That's where their podcast. You must not be hearing me when I'm
Yeah,
talking.
I'm staring at. I'm watching for fish.
So what's that have to do with your ears?
I don't know. Hi, bud. Welcome in, bud.
Is that like turning down the radio when you're trying to find a house number or a street to turn
Yeah,
on?
I guess I'm concentrating. I know you're talking about their website and podcast and stuff, but
All right, so let's share this and we'll show what we say are skyfish or whatever these things are.
yeah, to me, a rod looks like a cigar shape. Skyfish have bumps on the top and bottom. Right there. Man, that was a good one. That's a rod. That looks like a rod. That's a beautiful skyfish. That thing at the very end, I don't know, that thing changes at the very end. That's so weird.
Yep. So that's what we're seeing in our camera. So these are the ones that we're talking about that have the ribs.
And they're not bats. You can see the bats. You can see the wings flapping when you actually see
We have so many pictures of bats and bugs and insects and all kinds of things. And
you can tell a difference between a moth and I know some cameras are frame by frame that will make it longer, but our cameras don't do that. So that's what these skyfish look like. They're about 12 to 15 inches long. You don't see them with the naked eye. You don't see them with the flashlight. You just see them with the infrared.
so even that one, it looks like a rod,
But it's got little bumps.
but if you get it in the right place and maybe the camera angle is wrong, but you can start to see little divisions where it might be like the other one.
Yeah, and I've heard of the flying worms, but I think the skyfish with the bumps are different than what people see flying worms.
So even this one is different than the one that we just showed earlier. It has bumps on the bottom and top like fins, or
Damn me.
what'd she say?
Thank God I never married. I still hear myself talking to myself. Yeah, what we're seeing with Mr. E, he's what is, I don't know what his college thing is. He studies these things. He's a biologist of something. And other people that we have asked, they're thinking these things are just like orbs and they're interdimensional. And
So if you look at this one, this one looks shorter than the other ones. It doesn't have as many bumps.
But the very last frame, it changes.
And then all of a sudden at the end, right there, look how fluttery that looks, or how weird it goes from that to that. And that could be a camera anomaly. I'm not saying it's not.
Like I said, we see these in the wintertime when there is no bugs.
So that's what we're calling starfish, or
skyfish,
not starfish. I'm sorry.
Hey, good morning, Fire Spirit.
Hi, Fire Spirit.
Welcome in from the UK. Yep. Yeah, we got the rods. Like I said, I call the rods without bumps, and then the skyfish have bumps. And then the orbs they're not bright white like a bug would be. They're translucent and you can kind of see through them, and they appear and disappear right in front of you. So
So
now
you tell us, you guys that are new to this or just now seeing it for the first time, you tell us what you guys see, because those are slow down videos from these very same cameras that we've caught, and we think they're rods or skyfish, or some of them. Sometimes we'll see orbs, but we have no explanation for.
Nope, we're not experts. But I've been doing this for, I think, almost 7 years ago is when we got the ATN night vision binoculars and started picking up the orbs. And then we got the psionics. And we've had these for a year and a half.
Now I got just a screen of the camera itself instead of the whole computer monitor.
Wow. That was a good one. You're actually ahead of StreamYard is actually ahead of the main I can't say monitor. Yeah, there's some good ones. Just another mystery. And some of these kind of leave a tail behind. Other ones don't. An orb is perfectly round with no tail.
Now, scientists will try to say it's a bat or a bug, and it's the cam rate or whatever,
right.
The camera lens rate compared to the object moving, that it blurs it, so it could be a moth or something, and you see a trail of their wings flapping. But we have captured so many hours of bugs during the summer, bats and everything that flies in front of the camera during the day. We study it, we compare them, but nothing looks like these objects that we're showing you, or that video we just showed you that we're calling skyfish or rods. None of those insects, bat videos from the very same camera, from the very same camera rate, film rate, exposure time, none of it matches.
And my main point is when it's 0 degrees or below 0, well, below 30, we don't get bugs in the wintertime. That's a good one.
So I guess I could show the fire pit video of when it was 17 degrees out and snow on the ground and no wind, no dust.
Just like what we need. Another mystery. We live in a strange place. Let alone the Sasquatch noises and stuff I've heard.
I think there's some kind of portal or vortex out in this field.
There's gotta be.
I don't know what it is.
We need to get our dowsing rod and start walking.
Well, we could have done that today.
Yeah, but we were kind of antler hunting and mushroom hunting.
Maybe the dowsing rods could have showed us where the antlers and mushrooms and arrowheads are.
Yeah. And you can see some of these things just appear and disappear. That would not be a bug. A bug will be on the screen the whole time. Yeah, the dark spot when it leaves, that's the cameras. That was a good rod. And I swear I didn't see it go past the Martin house. It didn't go past the Martin house because I just saw it on YouTube.
The dark lines is the camera trying to catch up with what it's seeing. But according to the scientists or experts, they're saying that the image itself, like the white spots that we're seeing, is the camera doing the anomaly. But I don't believe that, because the camera is making the black trail behind the object, but the object is not distorting. And like I said, we got so many hours of bugs and bats and praying mantises and moths and
another good skyfish.
And they just do not look or act like these things.
And I have caught moths, and you can actually see them flutter. And at night, I mean, you don't see a whole lot of bugs at night in the first place. It's mostly during the day. You got mosquitoes and, like night moths and things like that. But these things, the way they're acting and moving around, that's not dust. That's what people are saying. They think they're fairies. The ones that just dance around and swirl and twirl and
I mean, we believe they're not bugs or anything natural like that. And this could be a natural creature that's dimensional, or we don't know. But we tell you right up front, we don't know what this is. We just put names to it or the best description that we can. And
I'll tell you, I can easily fake showing that, oh, we caught a fairy when it's actually a praying mantis flying. So when you see a praying mantis flying here in a few months, you'll see them and you're going to think it's a fairy. No, it's a praying mantis. But these things that kind of actually leave a trail when orbs really aren't leaving a trail, they just kind of float and appear and disappear.
Floaty floats.
Some of it can be dust.
Yeah, we're not saying everything's a skyfish or a rod. So they're like we're in spring, heading into nicer weather. So they are coming out of the ground, out of the bushes, wherever they're coming from, and so there is going to be a mixture. And we're on a farm. There's a field right there behind us, so there is going to be dust at times, or wind picks up, but right now tonight. It rained all day or all morning, so the ground is muddy and saturated, so there really isn't dust.
And we finally don't have wind. Say that, oh, wow, that really zippy, zip, and curly.
But it is like 68 degrees, 60-something degrees tonight. So it is warm enough to have insects, but
some of these don't move like insects. I said that just disappeared right on the camera.
See, that's what we wondered. It could be spirits. It could be dimensional creatures that are actually a physical creature coming in our dimension, and our camera's picking it up. We don't know how to explain it. I mean, we try our best to describe what we're seeing or what we think it is, but we don't know 100%. I don't think anybody does, but it'd be interesting if somebody would actually do a study on them, and instead of just blaming it on the camera and its lens and film rate and all that stuff, and actually study it and see what these things are.
Yeah, see, these aren't game cameras and these aren't door ring cameras. These are Reolink cameras that have infrared on it. So it's not really a frame by frame type thing like a game cam. And it still baffles me about the wintertime. And I don't see them on the Psionics because the Psionics really don't have an infrared. It's just a night vision type camera. But the binoculars we have, I will pick them up, and orbs. Oh, that was a nice one.
So if we see something, we know it's a bat or a bug, or if we think that's what we know it is from watching all this footage over the years that we've had these cameras going, we'll tell you that was a bug, that was a bat, whatever. But if we see something that we can't explain, or it looks like what we're calling the skyfish, then that's what we're going to go with. But we're open-minded. So if you guys have ideas or what it could be, might be, we came up with the same idea as fire spirit. We think it could be spirits of animals, spirits of entities traveling. I mean, especially orbs. We think orbs are spirits.
And bugs will not disappear in front of your camera. And people do say fairies like the infrared and they like to interact in front of it. And there's times you can see them coming in from the field, and then you can see them turn around and go out towards the
back
field.
out.
Yeah. It sure is fun to watch. I mean, I'm downstairs watching all 8 cameras, but this is the main one that I love watching. especially when it's cloudy and I can't see stars. I'll just sit here and just watch the orbs and rods and skyfish, whatever they are. They're fascinating.
Yeah, definitely Dragon Collective. Some kind of energy, whether it's spirit or just energy. I mean, I don't even know how to describe it actually.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think it's plasmoids.
well, like I said, in another dimension, it could be a physical insect or a bug or something that travels through the air. It could be like we talked about with Justin E. It could be something that lives in the upper atmosphere and comes down and feeds on insects or whatever it's doing in our atmosphere, then goes back up to the upper atmosphere because there's all kinds of stuff living in the different layers of what we call our stratosphere and different levels of heading towards outer space. There's all kinds of amoebas and weird looking stuff, and that's what Justin's saying, that these UFO octopuses actually live up there. They're not necessarily extraterrestrial that live in outer space, but they live in those different realms of the stratosphere and the Earth's atmospheres, and they come down once in a while. Just kind of like if you picture a real jellyfish that we know, or an octopus in the ocean where they travel in the water and they go different depths or buoyant. That's kind of what they're doing in our atmosphere of the sky. They're buoyant and they can come in, down, up, go back in the upper atmosphere where they live.
And I think that it is increasing each year. The stuff in the sky is increasing that I'm catching. And this stuff seems like it's increased over the years.
I mean, I don't know how thin the veil actually is getting. I mean, that's kind of why we named our show Piercing the Veil, because we like to peek behind the veil or through the veil to see these things, or they're coming into ours so we can see them. But I eventually I think there's not going to be a veil. It's just going to be wide open.
Ooh, nice. There's twice now that I saw a skyfish go towards that Martin house. We don't see it go past, like it went inside the Martin house. Twice now that I did not see it go past.
And we've watched videos, we haven't seen, not necessarily our videos, but we've watched other people's videos where it looks like these rods or skyfish will go right into the side of a building and disappear. So are they going dimensionally through that wall, through that building? Or it'd be interesting to see if anybody ever has cameras on the inside and outside and see it pass from one to the other camera from outside to inside of a house or something. To see if it continues, or does it just disappear? Does it dimensionally just go? That was a good zigzag.
That was a good one. Wow. This is so fascinating. I spent hours just watching these things. And they don't bounce off the barn either.
Yeah, so like a moth or
yeah.
Whatever, you hear them ping against your windows of your house or against siding, or you'll hear it like June bugs. How many times have you guys heard June bugs against your windows or your house? All of a sudden, smack. These do not do that whatsoever, ever.
So, that was a nice one. That looked like it came just right up out of the field. And I've also, that's another one. See, it doesn't go past the Martin house. And I've seen orbs on, that's a nice orb. Sweet. Another rod and skyfish. When I get the ATN night vision binoculars out, nice one. I see them coming straight up out of the field and then take off, or they stop and go straight down. Bugs don't do that either. Bugs kind of fly around like they're drunk.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, that's the reason we got these cameras, because we just enjoy it so much watching these things, and we figured out how to share it with you guys and get it on screen so you guys can watch. And that's why we started a 24/7, is to share it out. So if anybody wants to come in, hang out and chat, or just sit there and watch, that you guys can do it too. And hopefully if you guys see stuff that we don't, or something unexplained, let us know, send us an email, write it in the comments, write it in the live chat, because Jane keeps an eye on that pretty well. So we like to know what you guys think, what you guys catch, what you see.
Wait a month. We'll get our lightning bugs to come out, and you will see a difference of the shape of a lightning bug. It's brighter white. They're round. And we get quite a few lightning bugs that pop up out of the field.
How many emails were we supposed to get tonight from
I don't
people that
know.
want stickers? I got 2. OCST and Robin.
Okay.
So that's the only ones I see right now. So I thought we had more people saying.
Yeah, orbs like playing with the cameras. And they interact when when you go outside. It's like they kind of start showing up. Or if I take the dog out and then I take the dog in and come back down, you can see them leaving the backyard. They don't act like bugs. And just like I said, wait a month or two and we actually have a bunch of the summer bugs. You will see a difference. They're more bright white and they're solid. They're not translucent like this. And yeah, that kind of a trail is the camera, but some of them kind of leave a white trail behind them, which is really odd. So yeah, that dark trail is because I noticed that when we got the 2 new cameras, they're a little bit more better than the original ones. And I don't know if it's in the settings or what we got to do.
I don't know either. I mean, I'm sure there's probably more expensive cameras out there than we have, and we could probably do that, but I don't know what it would tell us more than what we're already seeing for the expense of the camera.
So yeah, like I said, almost every night I see these things, even in the winter. Some people say it's ice crystals that we're seeing in the winter. Well, ooh, nice one. You're not going to see the ice crystals in the summer, so it could be dust, but some of this, I don't think there's a breeze out there tonight.
No, it was pretty still out there.
Wow, see, now they're going to the field. They're going the other direction. It's just so fun to watch. I just sit here for hours just.
Well, if anybody's watching on a Rumble channel, I forgot tonight that I actually had it live on Rumble too, and I didn't bring up the chat to see who was all in there. So if you're in Rumble watching, I'm sorry. StreamYard does not put Rumble chat into our StreamYard, so we have to open the app up Rumble separately to see the chat. So I just did that. So if anybody wants to talk to us on Rumble, they can now, because I'm in there. So I'm sorry if I missed anybody.
You see anybody in chat?
There was one earlier. There's Robin.
I mean, I can't get tired of watching this. I was sitting down here, watching the animals and stuff and all 8 cameras. And this is just so fascinating. I can't get tired of it. It amazes me. That was a nice one.
So someday is our, our YouTube is not monetized. Our Rumble obviously is, so we can get super chats and money through Rumble, but we don't really advertise that. So we basically just save our own money. So if we upgrade a piece of equipment, it comes out of our pocket. So we try to budget or save up if we want to buy something new. So we're not saying we won't upgrade these cameras, but for this company, this camera we're looking at now is their top camera that they offer.
Yeah, this is the 16X, which we have replaced some of the smaller ones.
So we have all of our cameras from the same manufacturer, and the device that puts all these inputs from these cameras are from that company also. So if we do want to go with a different company, then you get into, okay, is that camera compatible with the system we have now? And we'd hate to spend the money and then it not be compatible. Then, so for right now, we're sticking with this company until they come out with a better camera, unless I find one that I know absolutely that works with this system and we can swap out a camera and have a higher resolution, better optics. But right now, this is the best one out there from this company anyway.
And one of the main reasons why we started this is we spent a lot of money on that Psionics night vision camera. You cannot go live. You cannot stream. There's no possible way we can get it on to show you like the Big Dipper event. And so you can see all hundreds of them compared to just a couple. So
I'm still digging and researching on that. So eventually there might be a way or a workaround. So if we can do it, we will bring it to you one way or another. And you guys will just absolutely love all the stars and all the stuff moving in the sky that you can't even see with the naked eye.
Or these cameras.
Yeah,
you see more.
It is just amazing.
You see a lot more with the Psionics camera. But you just cannot go. Well, their new one, the $3,000 one, I'm not spending $3,000.
And we're not even sure if you can go live. I mean, that's the thing. That company, whatever reason, does not give you the option to have it corded or wirelessly to a monitor or computer. You cannot do it. It only works on a mobile app, and then
you pay $800.
You can't share it.
Yeah, you pay $800 for that camera, and you can't share it.
But it's a great camera to have, and we love it. If you wanted to sit there and look at the stars yourself and check things out, it's a great utensil, great camera.
You'll see twice the amount of stars looking through the Psionics. And that's why I can see a lot more of these moving lights when the Big Dipper event happens, is because of the Psionics camera picks it up.
And it doesn't matter which Psionics you get, whether you get the high-end one or the low-end one, it still has great optics. I think they still have the same processor and chip and everything in it. And so even if you get the old model,
which is ours.
We got the great camera. You would just be amazed, and you can get those pretty cheap now.
Yeah, they're like what?
Came down in price a lot.
They're like $400 now, and we paid like $800 for this Psionics.
Yeah, I think the lowest I've seen is $299, and they have sales and stuff even on that, and they throw in like IR lights and equipment and stuff. When they have their specials on.
That was a nice one. They're just so fascinating. Like Rob, it's just mesmerizing. You just sit here and you're in awe. Like, what is that? That's why I title our 24/7 once in a while. What is that?
Right. But I mean, our biggest fear is that showing you this with the equipment we have now, we hope that you guys are able to see what we're seeing, or at least good enough quality on your end. Because a lot of times what we see on our computer screens or monitors look great, but they might not transfer to a phone or tablet as good as. And some people, I think, have thought that, well, that's not very interesting. It's just a blur going by. Well, it depends on what you're watching it on, or
do you get some idiot in chat saying, "Oh, those are just bugs."
Yeah, you got to have an open mind. I mean, even if I thought they were just bugs and somebody was showing a video, I would still try to keep an open mind and try to see what they're seeing or what they're explaining, or without being mean or criticizing them.
So that one's definitely as long as the Martin House. And I think that new Martin House, isn't it about 15 inches long?
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah.
It's pretty wide.
Well, that's about 15 inches.
That's
So
the only
Phil,
thing that
bring 'em-
we don't really have us particular don't have a way of measuring stuff like that, other than we know what the dimensions of that Martin house is.
Yeah. And why?
But at the same time, we don't know how far or close these things are to that house unless it flies right directly in front of it. Then we can kind of go from that.
You got a new email? Thank you, Lady Who.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
I don't know.
She just said, okay, I sent an email for stickers. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of people put it on their big screen television, and that's the best way to, especially with the Skywatch and stuff. You know, and like you're seeing these orbs and stuff. They're not as long as the rods and the Skyfish. So it's not the frame rate or anything making them look long. Or we'd have long orbs and stuff. And I think the birds would look long too. And you see the birds flying, you know, during the day. These things, oh, what? That was 2 of them. Ooh.
Yep, I got your email. All right.
Yeah, it's great on the big screen. I mean, Girl's done it upstairs, and I know my sister, she gets on the big screen. My brother's put it on the big screen. Some of
Yeah,
you guys-
obviously if you have a 4K or 8K, so obviously the better quality and bigger the screen that you view it on, you're going to see things better than, say, a tiny cell phone. But people so far have said cell phones even it looks pretty good. But
Skyfish Demolition Flight Team.
yeah, Demolition Derby.
Robin has a 4K TV.
And I think our StreamYard,
Whoa.
that was cool.
That's a rod.
That
was
was
a
cool.
rod. Yeah, it didn't have bumps or anything. That
I
definitely
think
was a
that
rod.
was the best one of the night.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So we have the deal of StreamYard where we have I think we're going out at 1080p. I think, I'm not positive. Might be 720, but I think it's 1080p video, so it should come up really well on your HD TVs and stuff. I have a Fred Flintstone TV.
Our flat screen's old.
Yeah, but it still has really good video. I mean,
that was a nice orb. Another nice orb. As you can see, some of these don't have the little trails behind them. So that's why when you... Nice Skyfish. Some of them that you see a white trail behind, that's when we've had people say, oh my gosh, those were fairies.
That one that just came through that was zigzaggy and lasted a long time, that'd be a good one to capture and have on video.
You'd have to scroll back now and grab it, right?
Yeah, on your tablet or something.
Just another mystery, but boy, is it fun to watch. I have Fred Flintstone TV.
Yeah, same here. We got rid of cable and all this stuff. All we have is like a Roku, and we watch YouTubes and stuff like that on it.
Ooh.
That was good.
Yes, it
It's
was.
almost like watching fireworks.
And that's why I stay up too late at night, and I can't get off these cameras. It's just so mesmerizing. She has her roommates watching.
Awesome.
Black trails might be a temperature drop as they pass through the energy, pick up on the camera. and vice versa with the light trail. Oh, that makes sense. And then sometimes you can see a white trail behind it.
Oh, that makes sense, Fire Spirit.
Yeah,
It could be.
it does. Yeah. I love you guys' input on this because we don't know. We're not experts. I just film this stuff and upload them on our channel and let everybody enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm sure there's more people out there that are more capable of describing or telling us what's going on, whether it's scientifically or whatever. But I mean, personally, I think if you're just open and not afraid to discuss different views and take everything in consideration and to try to make sense of what you can wrap your head around to make it make sense in our physical world, because a lot of these objects might not be physical in our world. So it's kind of hard to put the description or object together. But we try to stay open-minded, and if somebody sees something different than what we see, and it might open our mind to something different to accept, that this might be some. That was cool.
Yeah, that was a nice one. Oh, another nice one. Now, see, some of those are going past the Martin house, but I saw some that didn't go past the Martin house, like they went inside it. Ooh.
I thought that was going to come straight at us.
That was a nice orb. Oh, or that was a fairy. I don't know. That one kind of looked at it, had like a white trail. So interesting. And you guys probably have seen our video of the skyfish going inside an orb.
The thing that's interesting to me is the different rates that these things are flying by. Some of them are just like a split second, just in view and gone, and other ones seem like just be floating along, just kind of.
That's why I think the orbs kind of float along and they're slow, and then these little fast zippy things could be fairies. And some of the rods are a little bit slower than others. But none of it makes sense. Except they're interdimensional and the infrared's picking them up. And it does seem like we're getting more and more each year. We've had these cameras for almost 2 years now. The real Link ones.
Yeah. I don't remember when we bought our first one.
And then the binoculars, like I said, it was probably like 7 years ago. And I think 5 or 6 for the Psionics.
But if you don't want to set up a camera system like ours, or I mean, it's fun to do. It can be expensive, especially. But we've taken over the time to add cameras as we go. So obviously, it's like everything else in this world. We didn't buy everything all at one time. We kind of bought what we needed to get started, and then we eventually started adding to them. So that's why we have multiple views.
But right at a limit now. Unless we get a new box, because you can only have 8 cameras on the box.
But even if you can get just an IR
nice
camera, you will get a better view of the night sky.
Oh,
so it doesn't have to be a real expensive one. It could be a cheaper one, or even that, like we said, that Psionics at like $200 or whatever you can find it for is a great camera, and you won't regret getting it. This depends on how much you want to spend on for what you want to do with it.
But the Psionics will not pick up orbs and rods, though.
No.
Now, ATN night vision binoculars will pick them up because of the better IR. But the Psionics, you're best for
if you want to watch the stars and the stuff moving in the sky and have more visible to you through that device. Psionics is great. And I'm not saying a cheaper version of some other person's camera or binoculars or whatever wouldn't do the same, but I just know we've only experienced the ATN binoculars or the Psionics Aurora, and they're both great.
Or if you don't want to spend any money, just watch our 24/7.
Yeah, because it'll
I
be
usually
on.
at night. I usually have it on this camera pointing to the field, watching the stars. Or now, if I'm actually watching the stars or these light things, I will turn the infrared off. So because these things are distracting when we're trying to see the little lights appear in the sky and disappear. And then once it's done, I'll turn the infrared back on. And then the rest of the night, people can watch the orbs and strange phenomena. Phenomena. Woo, 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 woo.
Phenomena.
Phenomena. Woo, 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 woo. This is trippy. My eyes are drooping. I got to call it a night. Sending much love, light, and abundance of beautiful blessings to all. Good night,
Thank you,
Firewater. We
Firewater.
love you.
Yeah, I don't know how much longer we're going to be on. Maybe a half hour. I don't know. We'll just see.
At the beginning, we said just 2 hours because we were so tired.
I know. Before the show, I was about ready to call it. I was about dead to the world.
Yeah,
But then all of a sudden, I got my second wind, and here we are.
we went for that long walk, and oh my. No, we'll go 2 o'clock like normal. That'll be our 4 hours, won't it? Yeah, we'll do our 4-hour show, and we'll give it another half hour, and then you guys can just hop over to the 24/7 if you want to keep on watching.
Yeah, anybody that wants to hang out in our 24/7, you guys can talk to each other. The chat is live and it's open.
Sometimes I miss it. I'm sorry.
So you guys can go over there and hang out and chat away and talk amongst yourselves what you see on the cameras, because we'll just leave this view up for you if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, there is times I'm watching the show on my tablet or something, then I look over and somebody typed in chat and I didn't see them and they're already gone.
Yeah.
But I try to look over and keep an eye on the chat.
But sometimes we wake up in the middle of the night and we get in there and we're watching just like you guys. And so you never know. You never know when we'll be in there in unweird hours.
And you don't ever hear them hitting the camera either.
No, just like we said about June bugs and stuff, insects will ping against whatever the light source or whatever it is it's going towards. It'll run into it and ping like a light bulb or a window or a siding of your house or whatever. But these things don't ever hit the camera, don't ever make a noise against the barn, because we have audio. We actually have audio too on these cameras.
I swear I've seen them go into the barn. Like I said, we cannot explain this. It's just fun to watch. Especially in the wintertime when you know darn well they're not bugs.
The boys are taking a nap.
He said I slept. Actually, I went to bed at midnight last night because we had to get up early for Jessica's show that was at noon our time, and I had to actually get up late morning. Oh, wow. Nice. So yeah, I went to bed early the night before because we had a 2 o'clock show, and I wanted to make sure I was up for a while drinking coffee and fully awake. And
thanks, Dragon Collective. Thanks, Firewater, Robin, anybody, Blazer, Fire Spirit, anybody that needs to go to bed because their day's going to start early or they're feeling tired. Don't feel obligated like you have to hang out. I mean, we love that you're here. We'll talk to you as much as we can, but we understand people have stuff in their lives that they got to do the next day, so they can't be hanging out with a couple old fogies that don't have to get up early in the morning if they don't want to.
Yeah, well, Dragon has to start her day in 4 hours. So, well, thank you for hanging out. We will be here next Wednesday night for another hangout. And
catch us tomorrow on Heidi Pop's show, or catch us on Rumble Friday, Saturday for our movie night. Like I said, we're going to be playing the $6 Million Man versus where he fights Bigfoot. So check those out Friday, and Saturday we're going to have more Twilight Zone and X-Files and a movie. And then Sunday, we have Greg House from Woodwalkers. So we're going to be talking about his Bigfoot experiences. And then
Yeah.
Wednesday will be Paul Stobbs from the UK. So it'll be 2 a.m. It'll be the afternoon for us. So it'll be 2 p.m. Central. And we're going to be talking about the Nephilim and the connection with clowns.
And Blazer, yeah, we're on Heidi Pop tomorrow, 5 o'clock Central. Us and Mr. B and Jim
Jim
Goodall.
Goodall and Heidi, and obviously Heidi. It's her channel.
So that'll be 5 Central tomorrow. We got a busy week this week.
And if you can, go back and watch our last video with Kate Ray. She's from the UK also. So that was an afternoon show. So that's up on our channel from this past Tuesday, where we talked about fairies. And that was a really good show. Believe it or not, I guess me and Jane broke the UK fairy world.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do now. They don't know what to do with us. We broke them.
I know. We asked the question last time she was on. So she asked the community of the UK. They were all baffled. If fairies smell, if they have a smell, and they were just baffled and fascinated. Yeah, she had to put it on this UK forum, this big community, and asked them, and it just,
I guess it blew up, and
Yeah.
they just loved the new question. I guess evidently nobody ever thought about it before, because we always put a smell, like a musky, earthy smell with Bigfoot or certain cryptids, or even aliens have a sense or some kind of aura about them. So we asked the same thing about fairies to Kate. Do fairies have a smell when they show up, when they come into your house or your garden, or gnomes or anything? Is there a scent that you pick up? Can you smell cotton candy? Can you smell flowery, or do you smell chocolate chip cookies, or do you smell rotten eggs? What do you smell when fairies come? There has to be something. Or maybe they're dimensional and they don't have a smell at all. Maybe they're not as sensual.
yeah, but Sasquatch could be interdimensional too, and they actually have a smell.
Well, I'm assuming Sasquatch, when they have a musky cell, they're actually flesh and bone
Yeah.
in our dimension physically here. But if they travel dimensionally, maybe those don't have. Maybe when they're in that form, if they're dimensional, maybe they can go from physical to dimensional, and once they switch over, they don't have a smell either. Because people have said they've smelled it and tracked, and then all of a sudden, the tracks are gone and the smell's gone. So maybe it is a dimensional thing.
Wonder if they smell differently in their dimension.
Maybe they smell differently when they're at home. They
That's
take a
what I mean,
shower,
yeah.
clean up, and put their pajamas on. And
what if they smell different in their dimension?
I don't know. Maybe they smell sweet over there and smell foul to us. I don't know. Anyway, we broke the UK fairy world.
They were baffled by our question.
So we gave her a couple more questions to ask.
I still think these rods and skyfish are increasing compared to when we first got these cameras.
I think
There's
they
more
are.
of them. I think the veil is getting thinner or something. It does seem like there is more of them and more orbs. When we first got these cameras, I wasn't seeing this much. And that would have been almost 2 years ago. So I think they have increased, especially this year. There's a lot of skyfish compared to just last year. Why?
I do not know.
I know you don't know. Nobody knows. Invasion of the unknown.
Something.
Well, I'm glad we didn't have a subject or anything tonight. It kind of worked out really good just doing the cameras and sky watching together. And
Well, I did have something I could have brought up, but this is more fun. This is more interactive with the chat, and
Yeah, well, I could have done a UFO report too. We haven't done one in a while. Maybe we'll definitely get one done next Wednesday. Get back into the UFO little newspaper clippings that we got. But yeah, this
but I
is
mean,
fun.
but usually, we'll do a cryptid report, UFO report, or something weird, or show some pictures of something. But if anything happens, like on our cameras, we usually do bring them up, even though we might have a subject or the chat's talking about something else, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, check this out.
So far, I think we've got a lot more rods and skyfish than even just last year and 2 years ago.
Tell them, please, who said. We asked a question on our show, this last show of Kate, so we don't have an answer to our questions yet. But the last questions was about the smell of the fairies. So they told us they didn't really have any data or anything to go on, other than some people did relate kind of a sulfur smell with kind of like the mischievous fairies or gnomes, or whichever ones are kind of the tricksters. Some people said they might have smelled maybe a sulfur or rotten egg kind of smell. But other than a few instances like that, nobody really knew or even thought about, do fairies have a smell when they appear or come in? So we don't have any updates. We just talked to Kate again for the second time this last Tuesday. So when we talk to her again, maybe we'll have a new information or new updates.
Blazer said tooth fairies smell like plaque. He filmed it when he was 11.
Smell like plaque.
Yeah, he filmed it when he was 11.
Wow.
And sulfur, yep.
No, it says film at 11, like the news at 11.
Film at 11.
So I don't know. I told Kate, me thinking, fairies, growing up on Disney, Tinkerbell, and all that stuff. I said I think fairies would smell flowery or pleasant, perfumey, or even like cotton candy. There should something be sweet. But that might not be the case.
That was 3 of them.
3 of them.
Yes. Saw 3 of them at the same time.
And Kate told us when she goes out investigating, if she ever comes across the fairy, she's gonna sniff it and smell the fairy and let us know.
Yeah, she says she's gonna try to smell a fairy.
So there you go. Get close and personal with the fairy, and she's going to report back to us.
But remember, fays and fairies is not just a little Tinkerbell fairy. There are brownies, there are pixies, there are sprites. There's all kinds of different fairies.
Yeah, different sizes, different.
Oh my God, no fairy sniffing.
And as far as I know, it could be against the law in the UK or over in Europe to sniff fairies. They might have a law against it. I don't know.
Yeah, fire spirit. If you smell a fairy, do you get arrested over there?
I mean, even here in America, if you come up, start sniffing people or thinking, they might not be against the law, but it might not work out very well for you. Going around sniffing entities.
Fairies will be like, there's some pervert human trying to sniff me.
Yeah, they'll go back to their dimension or whatever. You're not going to believe this.
Tink is a female used in dark magic practice. Oh yeah, Disney made Tinkerbell this cute little thing, and most fays and fairies, they say, don't mess with them. They're very mischievous and evil and nasty and tricksters. But yeah, Disney made him cute. So did Peter Pan.
Right. Speaking of Peter Pan.
Oh.
I watched, or maybe I read it, but I think I watched a video where
Robin.
Captain Crook, the ones that we think was stealing, abducting the children or coercing them to come to Neverland, was actually the good guy and saving children.
What?
Yeah, it's a real interesting theory.
Wow. Sniffing fairies create a whole new image for me.
I know, sniffing fairies, man. I tell you, that's the new thing. I'm telling you, we started it.
See what
There's probably going to be people all over the UK now going around sniffing fairies or what they think are fairies. Or
Blazer said it could be a new Olympic sport, fairy sniffing.
we could set up a website where people, just like the BFRO for Bigfoot reports, we can have sniffing fairy reports. We can just have fairy. Everybody can say, "Hey, my fairy smelled like cotton candy. My fairy smelled like rotten eggs." What did your fairy smell like?
Robin's
A good T-shirt.
That would be a T-shirt.
I sniffed a fairy and I liked it.
I sniffed a fairy and I got high.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because it kind of started as, why were brownies called brownies? And I guess we just came up with the question, like, is there a certain smell? Because that's
Yeah, what do brownies smell like?
Why is brownies called brownies? Are they brown? I sniffed a fairy and all I got was this T-shirt.
So the next time you go out in public or in chat or whatever, you can just call somebody, you fairy sniffer. You fairy sniffer.
Wow. They sure do like going past that Martin house over there. And they like going down and curving and stuff too. There is a lot of them tonight.
I went to Brigadoon and I sniffed a fairy and they kicked me out.
FS for short. You're just a FS.
Fairy
You're
sniffer.
just an FSer.
Yeah, you're a you fairy sniffer.
Oh my. We might have to come up with some more T-shirts for our merch shop.
Fairy sniffer. It'd probably be offensive if you had a picture of Tinkerbell and somebody sniffing her. Probably get banned. It'd have to be some other character.
Oh.
I don't think it'd be right even to have Peter Pan sniffing Tinkerbell.
Yeah. Respect.
That'd probably be wrong too.
Respect to the Fae folks too.
Yeah.
Brigadoon ain't seen that film in years, LOL.
Yeah, we talked about Brigadoon too. Yeah, I think both shows I brought up Brigadoon about. Well, this time it was about language. About what language is native to fairies or gnomes, or is it ancient Gaelic? Is it Celtic? Is it English? We talked about telepath. Are they able to automatically just speak to us in our minds and we know what they're saying and they know what we're saying? But my question was, when Brigadoon, if it's like the Island of the Fairies that comes back every 7 years or whatever the time period is, when they appear, are they talking in an ancient language that's no longer in existence? Or is it a language that we or somebody might understand if you're from Ireland or Scotland or somewhere where there's fairies? So that's how we brought up Brigadoon, about language. And I think we started on accents too, about where they have an accent. Yeah, we probably on our show or whatever we talk about, we probably offend elemental groups or extraterrestrials, and we don't mean to. No disrespect, but we probably do offend them. They're probably stupid humans. Can you believe that?
They're trying to smell us.
Can you believe what they're talking about? What they want to? Can you believe what they want to do? Here, aliens abduct us and do experiments, and they're mad at us because they're out there sniffing things and trying to.
I swear that one just hopped over the Martin house. Wow, there's some good activity tonight.
Yeah, telepathy, telepathy or might be the only thing that maybe there is a thought process or a connection if they want to talk to us that way. But I was just thinking fictionally as like the movies like Brigadoon, when all of a sudden the island appears and you're hearing them talking to movies, they're talking like an Irish or a Scottish accent and kind of like their old language, kind of some of the terms or the slang that they use. But it made me think, what if today, what if I was out there and all of a sudden Brigadoon appears and I go there, what are they going to be talking and would I understand them? Or would it be a forgotten language?
Well, another thing I should bring up that these cameras have microphones that I can talk to the goats and I can turn music on, like the one behind the barn. I'll talk and say, hello, my friends. They will come and interact in the camera. Bugs would not be doing that. And they do interact when I get on the mic and say things or play some music. I even did some Christmas music and in the wintertime, they will come up and interact with the camera.
Yeah, it's
How do you
weird.
explain that?
They will make a beeline right for that camera that has the music or whatever on.
I've done handpan music and just, just say, I want to sniff you.
I want to sniff you. Well, everybody, we're got
7 minutes.
7 minutes, and we're going to call it a night.
Yep, 7.
I don't know how much more you guys can take of us anyway. I think 4 hours is probably more than enough for any normal person.
The last few Wednesdays has been 4 hours.
Yeah. So we're slowly getting back to our old selves where we were doing 4 or 5 hour night owl lounge. Usually what would happen is we'd be starting to wind down and all of a sudden the UK wakes up and comes alive and starts
and our chat starts blowing up.
So we go from 12 to 15 people back up to 20 some people all of a sudden. Oh, the UK is awake.
Man, that's a good one. I still think that they're going over the Martin house, underneath the Martin house, around the Martin house. Wow.
Yeah, I know, it's fascinating.
Well, what I like is there's, we've got 21 or so people watching at the same time. It's fun watching this at the same, with someone.
Right. That's what's fun about it, to be able to interact with each other while watching this and saying, hey, did you see that? Or, hey, I noticed this thing did this. Or it looked like I could see through that orb, or I saw more fins, or it looked like it twisted a little bit. That's what we like, is when you guys tell us what you guys see in case we missed something or didn't notice. Hey, did you notice that one has 5 fins and this one only had 3, but this one kind of twirled or looked like it was going in a motion that the other ones aren't? Because there could be different species that look alike, just like animals or bugs or insects or whatever. We could be looking at it and thinking, okay, the ones with the fins are all this, but then there might be characteristics of each one of them that we haven't noticed to make them all different from each other.
Some of the skyfish are kind of shorter. And Fire Spirit, have a good day. I know you're starting out with your day. And Blazer, if you're going to sleep, good night. And thanks for hanging out. Yeah, we've got 6 minutes We'll stop at 2:00.
Yep. So thank you guys all for coming. Please come back and hang out with us again. If not on a Wednesday night, please check out our shows and enjoy our guests and our interviews. I know me and Jane have fun talking to people, just like we talked to you tonight. We have fun with it, and we try to be serious about certain aspects of things. But I mean, we're not that serious of people. We can be, but we try to make it fun and enjoyable. So please check out our shows, and if you can, check out our merch shop. And if you want stickers, please email us midwestnightwatchers@gmail.com, and we'll send you out a set of stickers.
And you can go to our channel and click videos and go way down the last few years. We've got orbs and rods and skyfish and animals and Big Dipper events and power-ups and strange things in the sky. We got all kinds of videos you can watch. And Blazer said put up a net. Bugs would run into it.
So if you can, go over to Jessica Jones and watch our latest episode with her. We were on her show, The Cryptid Huntress, today, actually. So it's freshly out there on YouTube and her other socials. So please go check that out. And tomorrow on Heidi Pop's channel on YouTube and Rumble, we will be on there and with Mr. B from Australia and Jim Goodall. And we're going to talk about a synoptic circle on how we all met and whatever else comes on. You know, Jim will be talking about something.
I was just going to say, Jim will probably talk most of the time. But yeah, we actually met Heidi on Jim's show. The Terry show. We actually met Heidi on Terry's show and got to know Jim. And
so, yeah, there you go. You know, Jim will bring up some kind of car or some kind of music history or even
skunk work.
His friendship with
Bob Lazar.
So there's always that avenue. You never know what we're going to get out of Jim.
Yeah, he was friends with John Lear also before he passed away.
Yep, John Lear and
Heidi show 5 Central. It would be what 4 your time, Blazer, or you're 2 hours behind now. You don't change. Yeah, 5 Central is Heidi show tomorrow. It'll be 3 her time. And what'd she say? 7 in the morning for
Mr. B?
Yeah, Mr. B, I think will be 7 in the morning.
In Australia.
4. Okay, so we're still an hour. Yeah, so 4
down under.
Time, 5 our time, and 3 Heidi time.
All right, everybody. We love you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for hanging out with us. We truly do really love you, and we appreciate you guys all hanging out with us, and we just have so much fun. So this is why we do Wednesday nights. Well, this is why we do any of our shows, really, because we love you guys in chat, and we think everybody's stories are interesting, and we try to bring it to you just the same way as we think, sitting across the table from somebody and just having a general conversation and whatever they're into, whether it's paranormal, aliens, cryptids, fairies, sniffing fairies, whatever they got going on, we like to talk about it. And so thank you. I guess that was a long way of saying goodnight to everybody's, but once again, we love you. Thank you for coming. Please check out our shows and all of our friends' shows, and we'll catch you next time.
And if you're still awake and can't sleep, hop over to 24/7. You can just keep watching what we're watching now.
Yeah, it's always there. Usually always there.
Usually always there.
All right. Love you guys. And Friday night, $6 Million Man versus Bigfoot. Check it out.
Rumble only.
All right. Love you guys.
Love you.
Keep looking up.
Keep your vibrations high.
We'll see you next time.